right, test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Music is lower this time. I'm trying to work on this now, and things are looking pretty good here. You can see a couple little eyeballs right there looking for treats, and I'm going to give him something in a second, but I'm just making sure everything's working out pretty well. Hope you guys are all having a very good day here. It has been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. Here we're going to be talking about all of that, of course, and the fact that we're kind of still holding support, which is pretty nice, even though the rest of the market kind of went up today. Bitcoin was like, bleh. We'll talk about it here. Heck, even GameStop and AMC went up, and cryptocurrency still wasn't doing that. So we're going to talk about PPI today, what's going on with the charts, and a couple other things here. Loki's getting a little anxious for his treats. Yes, you good boy. Oh, you should good boy. Yes, see, he's a very good boy. Can't see him because he's in the corner, but he's having a good day. He spent the most of his day outside. And you know what happened to me? I had like an allergy attack and I got eaten up by mosquitoes, but somebody was having a good time. It wasn't me, but somebody was. So to help myself out, I got myself a nice cigar today. So I'm going to be going with that in a second, and I'm going to give Loki this treat if he comes over. You see it over here? Come on. He'll find his way over here in a second. There you go. See how gentle he is? Oh, that actually bit my finger. But that's okay. It was a very gentle bite. Oh, fine. There you go. Yum, num, 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 num. Yeah, there you go. Oh, he loves these little treats, and they're just so tiny that he can actually eat a few of them every day. All right. So, again, what we're going to be talking about here today, as you guys already can imagine here, is PPI data. We're going to be going over the data, what the data says, what went up, what went down, cryptocurrency markets. I also want to take a few minutes to talk about GameStop and AMC, just to kind of get a gist of what's going on here, looking over the broader markets and seeing what's happening, and just preparing us for the potential opportunities and casualties of what could happen tomorrow, depending on if CPI data is bad and CPI data is good here. So we can talk about all that. And hey, Jonathan, gas is up. Oh, guys, I know everything is up. You don't got to tell me. I see it every time I go out. I get gas. You know, everything's rough. There's no changing it for the foreseeable future. It would take years of monetary policy changes, plus a few other things, which I guess we could talk about a little bit later on here tonight. Probably some of those things I'll be talking about once I start going to the Cigar Lounge a little bit more. I think today I'm not going to the lounge, but I think I may go to the lounge tomorrow. So I'll have maybe like a 5 o'clock stream or maybe a 4 o'clock stream tomorrow. Then I will proceed to stream at maybe around 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock Pacific time. Just for an hour while I'm smoking a cigar and drinking a sidecar, an old fashioned or a mojito or whatever. I mean, whatever I freaking want. I don't know. There's tons of drinks out there. I might even get myself a little Shirley Temple. I haven't had one of those in a hot minute, but I remember they're sweet and they're good. So I'll find something to talk about there. So that's kind of the gist of what we have going on today. For now, I'm going to go over here to this section. I'm just making sure that volume thing is off. Yeah, I fixed the website audio, so we shouldn't have that loud audio coming up like yesterday. Freaking drove me nuts because it only pops up when I have one single tab open. So anyway, guys, this is kind of what I was looking at for most of the day here. We got the producer price index news release summary. There's a whole bunch of writing here, some data here, a whole bunch of writing, some more data. You know, honestly, I don't really care about a lot of this data that I'm looking at right now. They kind of hide all the good stuff here in the bottom. So you're going to see these little charts right here, table 1, table 2. Those are the things that I usually pay attention to. All of this stuff, it's useful, but it's not useful for people like me and you, I would say. This is more useful for government institutions, hedge funds that really want to plug all this data into different scenarios and things like that. We don't really need that. So basically, I'm going to give you guys a gist of what happened. I'm going to show you guys a couple tables. Luckily, I had been using the new ChatGPT 4.0 thingamajigger to... I took all of that wording and I put it down here, and ChatGPT made this into a list that will be a little bit easier for us to understand, okay? Before that, I'm going to take a nice little sip of coffee here. I'm a little bit exhausted from playing outside with Loki all day. Some people came on the property to fix some water stuff. I guess they're just kind of like draining some water. I don't know. It's not the type of stuff you call them over for. It's just like the city does some stuff. Loki was not happy that they were on the property without permission. At first, he was just growling up a hailstorm, barking real loud. Then he realized that, oh, they're good people. Then he chilled out. But I was like, oh, damn, Loki. Loki was not having a pleasant few minutes there. All right, hold on a second here. Black coffee, black coffee, black coffee, black coffee, and a cigar coming up. That's going to be good. All right, so here's what happened with PPI overall. So In April, the Producer Price Index PPI for the final demand rose by 0.5%. This follows a 0.01% decline in March and a 0.06% increase in February. This 0.01% decline in March, this was revised, and I think this is one of the reasons we saw the market actually fall back down a little bit before, the dollar index fall back down after having that spike. I told you guys when I was doing that video this morning, I wondered what was going on, because I heard Jerome Powell was talking, but he didn't really say anything new or interesting. So I think it was some of the old data was revised in a positive manner, and I think that actually led to a little bit of good stuff happening for us. Now, over the last 12 months, the PPI increased 2.2%, the highest since April of 2023. Okay. That is not April of 2024. That is April 2023. So that was the highest bump up in about a year here, guys. That's not the way you want to see inflation going. You want to see if it goes up a little bit. Oh, it's just gone up a little bit compared to the last few months. Not gone up to the highest level since April of 2023. Okay, or the last year. All right. So for final demand services, the prices for final demand services went up by 0.6% in April, primarily driven by a 0.6% increase in services, excluding trade, transportation, and warehousing. Major contributions included portfolio management, machinery and equipment wholesaling, and residential real estate services. So basically, a lot of inflation for the final demand services. You can imagine to what would you call these people? Consultants. You know, how can I make my business better? How can I streamline stuff? You don't pay yourself, you pay like an outside company. Those companies rose their prices, it looks like, maybe because they're in the cities and whatnot, and prices in the cities got a little out of control. So final demand goods, prices for final demand goods increased by 0.4% in April, largely due to a 2% rise in energy prices. Energy prices are going up. That means the overall product is going to cost a little bit more, because those products take a little bit of gas to get between places. Now, gasoline prices jumped 5.4%, while fresh and dry vegetable prices fell 18.7%. As somebody who's been eating a lot of fresh vegetables lately, I'm kind of happy to see this. I haven't necessarily seen this in my store, but pardon me, but I'm happy that generally around the country we are seeing a little bit of fresh and dry vegetable prices falling. That is kind of interesting to see there. Now, intermediate demand, processed goods for intermediate demand rose by 0.6% due to increased in energy goods, gas and stuff like that. Unprocessed goods saw a significant 3.2% rise, mainly driven by an 8.2% increase in unprocessed energy materials. So, unprocessed foods, wow. Oddly enough, it's usually the processed stuff that is cheaper anyway, that's why it's usually not the best for you to eat. People try to not eat as many processed foods and things of that nature. And I wouldn't even say it as terms of food, but just basically, raw goods, processed goods, those raw goods are usually going to be a little bit cheaper anyway. But the fact that these go up means everything is going to go up after that process, right? So keep an eye out for that. Now, talking points for stream, because it's helped me out here. Oh, no, I'm not even reading this shit. No. Oh, that was all the notes. Okay, never mind. I thought it was going to be more notes and stuff like this, but basically it just gave me how to talk. I could have just read this for you guys and been off the screen saying, hey everyone, let's dive into the latest production price index. Maybe if I want to sound snazzy for my next PPI, CPI video, I'll do that, but I won't show it to you guys ahead of time. So you guys get an idea of what's been going on here, how data has not been good today. However, we had a less bad data from last month as they revised it down, and I think that's overall a pretty good thing here. Now, as far as what was going up, what was going down, this isn't the biggest thing you guys have to concern yourself about, but I do like just kind of showing you guys what's going up, what's going down, so you guys can make your own decisions, because sometimes, in my opinion, this data can be very useful when you're thinking about what's happening when it comes to certain industries out there, certain stocks that you guys may want to buy, and you can almost think about it as a few days ago, I was talking to you guys about how I really don't want to be trading anything right now, like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or something where it's like a person has to go to a store and buy something. And that's really because I don't think that people want to put up with those prices at this point in time. And lo and behold, we saw some of these earnings come out and Home Depot just really shit the bed because, again, people just don't have as much money. If we all have money, the good thing about this economy is we have jobs. You can see that through all this data, people are still buying stuff, but they just can't buy everything they were able to buy before. If your groceries cost like 50% more than they did a few years ago, Of course, that is a huge part of your budget. If gas costs way more than it did a few years ago, of course, that's a huge chunk of your budget. So if all that money goes over here to these food and energy, basically, well, that means you have less money to go to the movies, less money to go buy that new thing you wanted to do, less money to go buy that new, stove, oven, things from Home Depot, or just things on Amazon. You just, the newest iPhone, you don't have enough money to go buy that. That's the type of stuff that we're seeing happening. And then if they can buy some of that stuff, they're being very specific of what they buy. And that really makes those products that aren't necessarily like, oh, I need this thing, that makes those types of stocks go down quite a bit. Like right now, Home Depot, nobody really needs the newest refrigerator, the newest oven, unless they're remodeling something. You're not going to really be doing as many upgrades at this point. You would have been doing that when you could finance stuff at a very low rate. You can't finance that stuff at low rates right now, which means that it's going to cost a lot more to get your home redone, new windows, new roof, new anything. It's going to cost more. The only way you might get a good deal is if your local window shop or something says, hey, 5% APY on the financing, and you don't even have to pay us back for a year. Those types of deals are usually what I see on my my little pamphlets that get mailed to me. But anyway, basically what we saw here today is a few things coming down. Again, foods coming down a little bit. Finished consumer foods, crude, that's down. Processed foods, down. Government purchase foods, down. Foods for export, down, right? So we see some stuff going down. Where things are still getting bad for producers out there, think of it just businesses. This is energy, all going up. I know it's not the best, but really, guys, there's not much concern here. Trade of government purchase capital equipment, that's going up here. The government itself, when it trades with it, it's just very inflationary because the government doesn't know how to manage money, obviously. But everything else, it's moving up moderately. It's not crazy. A lot of it just happens to be right now a lot of energy making everything more expensive. Perhaps if we can get oil prices to have a substantial move down, with the economy potentially having some larger moves down, that could be something good. At this time, we see the economy slowing, but it's not slowing enough, of course, to stop this inflation, which is why we've kind of been this tit for tat with the Fed saying, hey, are we going to lower rates or to keep them higher for longer? Or if inflation keeps going up, will that be enough to make us raise rates? I don't think at this point the Fed will even try to touch rates, because then if you hike once, you might have to hike twice or three times. Banks will go into free fall again. Banks will have another crisis. And as fun as the last banking crisis was, imagine it hitting a large bank like a Wells Fargo or JP Morgan Chase. That would be more concerning because they have so much, they own a lot of mortgages, stuff like that. It could be catastrophic. I doubt they're going to do something like that after, even if it might have been a mistake to stop raising rates so early. Now, anything else here that I can see? I don't really see much happening. Maybe a little bit of materials for manufacturing. That's normal. Containers for intermediate demand. No. So again, I'm not going to go too deep in here, but there's not really a crazy amount here. This one right here is producer price index percentage change for selected commodity groupings by final demand, intermediate demand category, seasonally adjusted. Again, once you see the groupings of like fresh and dry vegetables, fresh fruit and melons, you kind of understand what we're talking about. They just make it sound so complicated, so no normal people will actually go in here and look this stuff up. Anyway, you're going to see fresh and dry vegetables down 18%. Fresh fruits and melon is up 7%. I think people are getting picnics and stuff like that, so there's just more demand for products out there. Grains are down 4.5%. Eggs for fresh use are up 11%. This swings a freaking lot, so don't worry about it too much. Back in January to February, it swung up 55%. So again, it swings a lot. Oil seeds, stuff like that, not all too much. Anything really moving up here? Gasoline's up, shocker. Industrial chemicals up. Iron and steel scrap up. This will go up more. I know you can see month over month after month after month of going down, but because Joe Biden just put tariffs on steel, you will see this getting more expensive. So if you guys use steel in your jobs or something like that, you may notice that stuff's more expensive. Most of you guys probably won't notice that. The overall price of things will be more inflationary though. So tariffs is definitely going to be an inflationary thing here. Now, industrial material handling equipment up 2%. Mostly everything else is pretty much just okay. Computer hardware, software, and supplies retailing, that's up 12% here. That's actually a pretty good move here. for those of you guys in the computer areas. Besides that, I think we're pretty good here. I think we're fine. Gasoline, of course, up on this side, but I think that's overall the gist of what we've been talking about. Now, there's one thing I wanted to show you guys, and I think this is overall still good news. I was looking at the... Oh, where's that? Yeah. So this is the Bureau of Labor Statistics Twitter page or X page, and I was like, interesting. I didn't even know they had one of these. But I went over here and I was just looking through some of their charts just a few minutes before the stream started, and this was a photo that they shared a few days ago. And this is total non-farm job openings, hires, and separations, seasonally adjusted. And you guys can see job openings, right? They are coming down pretty hard. Right here in this faint blue, I know it's hard to see. You are seeing hiring going down a lot, and you're seeing separations come down a lot. So the job market is getting worse here. So if you guys are thinking of quitting your job, it looks like right now is not the time. What I've been trying to figure out is basically how many people are being hired compared to what's been happening in the past, because we've seen all these job openings up, but every time you see one, you're like, 1,000 people applied to a job, nobody gets a call back. It's just like a very weird situation we're in right now. But if I were to kind of have this little bar right here, kind of go back in time a little bit, you know, we're back to pre-pandemic hiring and hiring levels, I would say. Excuse me, guys, coffee making me burp for some reason. As far as I can see, we're still going down. It doesn't look necessarily good, but I think this is good for inflationary reasons. So I think this will help bring the CPI down over time, and I think that'll be a very good thing. For whatever reason, back over here in 2017, 2018, they got really detached and we just started having a lot more job openings. I honestly don't understand what happened in this period of time. Same with over here, a lot of job opportunities, not much happening. To me, this usually, when it's something like this is almost moving into, this is inflationary because there's a lot of demand for jobs, but only so many people. But it's not like they were hiring more people with more jobs. Here they did, and you saw a lot of people quit their job to go to another job and they got higher pay, you know. But when it's something like this, you can see why inflation is at such a bad level as it was. All right. So now that we're done with all that type of stuff, let me get out of this here. Let me get out of this here. Look at this here. And let's just talk about what's going on with Bitcoin. Because again, a lot's going on. This volatility is going to be very interesting. And no matter what you guys are hoping for here, it doesn't matter once the CPI data comes out. Because if you guys want to go long and CPI is bad, you're going to lose much money. If you guys are going short right now and CPI is good information, good data, you're going to lose a lot of money. So you're really trying to make a massive bet at this point and see which way it goes. Day trading is still my goal here. I did have a swing trade that I told you guys I was buying yesterday. Yeah, I'm still holding it at this point. It hasn't hit my stop loss of 60,000, but this is just kind of a YOLO that I took with a small amount of capital, like I told you guys, and I'm just hoping that tomorrow we have good CPI data. That's really the only thing I'm doing, and it's not necessarily, there's not so much data just to support just buying and going long right here. It's more of, hey, I'm really hoping we have some good data, okay? A few more things here. Okay, daily chart. Everything's still going down. Nothing is new about this. I know we talk about this every day, but just a little bit of a confirmation so you guys keep that grounded in your heads. Things are still coming down here. On the 4-hour chart, what's new is we actually got rejected. I know we talked about this before, but we've managed to try to hold support right here. I would have thought if we had such bad PPI data before the revisions and stuff, we might have continued to break down. We did not. So I think for today, until CPI data comes out, we have one last opportunity to try to break out here. Now, this can manifest itself in many ways. I think the way to think about this, honestly, is don't think about it just going straight up, unless you guys are thinking that this happens with CPI. I know it's a horrible CPI. I know. But still, the only way that happens is with CPI. Right now, if I zoom in here for you guys, basically that right there is when the CPI data is announced. So we only have a few hours to make a day trade up a little bit before ultimately being forced to choose between crashing and soaring. That's the gist. Right now, if you wanted to go long and have some fun, sure, I'd probably be buying up meme tokens because those suckers have been volatile as hell. But for like, larger trades out there, you just be careful because it's going to happen sometime soon and you're basically placing bets. Think of it almost, because of how crazy this market has been, you're almost playing roulette, but those like double or triple zeros, and those double, triple zeros are just, how'd you say, that uncertainty that you really just don't know. You're going to choose black or red. You're not going to be looking at a number here. Best of luck for everybody making their guesses. Because PPI was a little bit worse, you might expect CPI to be a little bit hot as well. Let's hope that's not the case. Like we talked about before, I think the CPI report is supposed to be at a 3.4% rate here. I'm going to smoke that cigar here in a second. Hold on a second here. Let's go to CNBC. I just want to see if they actually talk about it. Google I.O. wrap up. I heard that was crazy here. Let's see. OpenAI co-founder Lyris. Oh, that's the guy that betrayed him. I think he probably should leave. Oh, let's see. Meme stocks. Yes. Walmart's laying off and reclothing hundreds of workers. Yes. Dude, I swear. Okay, here's one, but it's for pro people only. I'm surprised they're not covering inflation as much as they used to, which is very weird. Normally they're pumping, like, CNBC's talking about inflation all they can. Let me just type in inflation news, I guess. I want to see if there's anything outside of trading economics here. NASDAQ hits record close after Powell reassures investors, CPI in focus. Let's see. No, just a bunch of stuff. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I didn't type that in correctly at all. All right, there we go. There you go. Yeah, the consensus is 3.4%. What the trading economics team thinks is going to be 3.5. But if it's 3.5, that'll be above estimates, which will be bad. We want to see 3.3 to 3.2. That's where you guys see that move that we just talked about, where Bitcoin tries to go sky high in a short amount of time, and we start breaking out $65,000, $66,000. Everybody's happy, sings kumbaya, and we have another rally where even Bitcoin could reach all-time highs by the end of this month. It all hinges on what happens tomorrow, though. All right. Now, on the shorter time frames here, not a lot of the same stuff. A lot of the same stuff. Have an opportunity for a breakout. I just discussed maybe trying to take a long-term or a long here. Short time frame here. You're not even aiming for 63,000, 64. No. You're aiming for something around 62,790. More realistically, the bottom part down here, 62,427, 62,500, which is still about $1,000 higher than where we are. That's where I'd be aiming at this point in time if you guys wanted to do a day trade. But like I said, I'd probably be buying some meme tokens here just because of what's been going on in that part of the meme economy, if you will. Over the next few minutes, though, you can see the volatility that's been happening. Again, another opportunity for a breakout right here. I'd be more optimistic on the upside now that the market is closed for the day. Stock market, I'd be more optimistic for an upward move. A stop loss, if you guys were concerned, would just be back down here towards $61,000, basically, $61,200. So you're basically about losing $400. If it doesn't go your way. On the other side here, boom. I think I see a lot more upside here. All right. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, I'll just do a quick little update about that. And if you guys have any questions about tokens, let me know, and I'll be happy to check those out for you. Ethereum still coming down here. I don't really like the way this looks. You've seen a few opportunities to break out, and it really just hasn't been able to take them just yet. But you're definitely seeing us breaking down below that 200 daily moving average if we cannot get our act together here, which we haven't done since like way back over here. And you saw the downward move from that. That was a pretty drastic move. It took a while to get back up here, and that's not unrealistic, especially if we had a bad CPI data, but we have a market-wide dump. It'd be rough. Like I said, I'm still holding out hope that Ethereum can make that rally, but CPI, people. CPI is the way to the future. Now, Solana continuing that breakout here, having a downtrend. This isn't the worst chart out there. I think Ethereum looks a lot worse. I'm hoping this can, of course, bounce off those support levels and move higher, but we are looking at some opportunities for this to come back down here towards maybe 132 or so. Not crazy, but not terrible. Dogecoin, meme tokens, you can see kind of all of them. They haven't really been able to do much today. They've been trying, but really when it comes down to AMC and GameStop, you can see them right there. They popped and then they dropped. Not a terrible move on the day because they still ended up closing higher than where they were before. But this goes back to what we talked about before. If you guys are going to be trading these, because of the high risk and how many halts they're having right now, you're not really going to be trading it in the same way you guys might normally. It's either going to be something of a short day trade, or you're holding overnight and just waiting for those moves to happen. You know, swing trading is going to be a little bit more rough here unless you guys are able to just monitor it day by day and say, hey, I've reached a level, I'm getting out, and we'll see what happens next. You see with AMC right now, AMC went higher after hours, but it's now nowhere near the peaks we saw during pre-market today. You go over here to GameStop, same type of setup here, and I'm wondering if this is going to cool off a little bit more tomorrow before having another big rally, and we'll see what happens. You know, people are talking about Roaring Kitty and is this illegal what he's been doing? I kind of scoff and like laugh at that type of thing. I don't think what he did is illegal at all, but I wonder if that type of talk may spook some investors out of the market here when it really shouldn't. So I'm keeping an open mind to this, but I do think we're going to see some meme tokens have larger moves here as well, just because of the volatility we've seen. Even stuff like STMX here kind of going through these wild, wild swings. Isn't that the funniest little head, shoulders, and smackdown, right? You're going to see a lot of this stuff. Even Book of Meme here on the 5-minute chart was doing fine. Another head and shoulders up here, came back down. Maybe these will be looking for some alternative moves. For me, though, I think the best ones are probably going to be Dogecoin, Sheeb, and if you want to get fun, maybe Whiff here. Whiff has been interesting, but it also got taken out pretty hard today after that data. Couple more things here. AI tokens have gotten slammed, and I mean absolutely just slammed over the past couple days. This is a WLD token. I know we talked about this going down yesterday, and boy did it went down a lot more than I thought it was. Perfect slam below the 20-day moving average. All of a sudden it's hovering back at that support level right here. We'll wait and see. Ajax also at support. Well, actually, this thing already broke down, didn't it? PHA coming down. Fetch AI breaking down. You know, NMR, similar type of pattern. This one might have broken down as well. Let me just see, because they're all so close here to those potentials. Kind of broken down. We'll see. Pendle. Pendle's not AI token, but yeah, that one's coming down too. So you are still seeing altcoins overall coming down heavier than Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin's found some resurgence. Not all altcoins have been, so I'm still going to dollar cost average, wait this sucker out. But man, the dollar cost averaging is going to be enormous for the next few weeks, because you just know if CPI data is not good, you're going to have a lot of time to buy up. A lot of time. And if you have a lot of time, you can put a lot of money in there, because everybody's going to be waiting time after time after time to see, hey, what's going on. And that last thing here, there we go. All right, so the dollar index here, we're hoping that it can still move down. You can kind of see those scribbles I was doing. At this point, you can see pre-Jerome Powell talking, the revision, stuff like that. We were going sky high. Everything was bad. Came back down here. We kind of steadied off. We want to see this continue to come down. I think that's a signal that Bitcoin could do well. You know, it's only going to be moving for like a few more hours until CPI data comes out, so it's not the biggest thing. But ultimately, just as a recap here, we do want to see the dollar index just break down below this, and that's that trend line right there. This kind of shows where a potential bull market could happen for Bitcoin. The circumstances in which we break down below this are the circumstances of lowering, interest rates, having those cuts, and this is what brings Bitcoin to all-time highs, $100,000, whatever it goes up to. This is the move that makes it happen. We're fairly close. You know, we are close. If everything works out for us and we have bad CPI data, or good CPI data, that's good. If we have bad CPI data, you guys know that sucker will rise back up here. and things will get a little bit more hectic once more. All right, so let me get rid of this very fast, or actually let's just go over here. Yeah, that's fine for now, and we can kind of wait and see what happens. But right now, I just be long Bitcoin for the next few hours and see what happens. Let's go back over there a little bit more. I'm gonna light up the cigar, and you guys can kind of see some of these levels of resistance too. And hey, Crypto Ricky, loves quality jobs for sure. I've been looking to get a new position and there's almost nothing. I've been hearing that from a few people. It really just depends on where you live and the type of jobs available, and then how picky they're being with the jobs. Because right now the job may be open, but they're really not hiring. Like, for a quick example here, you guys could go over to Amazon Careers. Seattle, Washington, right? There's over 500 jobs in Seattle, over 500. Now you better believe that not all of these jobs are going to be hired. But I mean, updated 17 minutes ago, updated 21 minutes ago, updated 44, an hour. These are all like being updated all the time. And you would think that, it'd be very easy to get one of these jobs, but no. The process is grueling, and there's a really good chance they're not going to hire you just because of how they do it. But you can see all these types of positions. I know it might be kind of hard. Software development, over 500 jobs. Product program, product management, non-tech, over 500 jobs. Product program, product management, 392 jobs. Finance and global business services, 248 jobs. Business intelligence, 193. There might be some overlap in here, but this is all for Seattle, Washington. So, you know, this is a big hub of theirs. This is why everything in Seattle costs so much money. But basically, let's say I want to get a job in, I have a marketing background. Let's see. Do they even have a marketing background here? They probably call it something else. Business and merchant development or machine learning. Let me just go to finance. That's something I can relate to a little bit more. Senior financial analyst. Relevant. Let's see. Senior financial analyst, financial manager. Would actually be interesting. Just a normal financial manager in Bellevue. Okay. This was posted 4 days ago. All right. So it's in Washington, Seattle, Bellevue, and Nashville at the same time. And so I need a master's or a CPA, basic qualifications, BA or BS in finance, accounting, right? So when I say prefer, that means they really are going to just target that you probably won't get the job if you have the basic qualifications. So the base pay for this position ranges from $81,000 a year in our lowest geographic market to $179,000 a year in our highest geographic market. That means if you're in Nashville, you're probably making $81,000. If you're in Bellevue, you're probably making $180,000. That's basically what I see there, which is wild. That's such a wild swing depending on where you guys live, right? But Nashville, I think, is cheaper than Bellevue. Bellevue is where a lot of the executives and football players and all that type of people, that's where they live and go out and have their parties and whatnot. But again, the chances of even getting that job are just so low because of all the craziness going on right now. However, I do think that the market will fix itself in a few years. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, though. Not going to happen anytime soon. Going to healthcare is get overtime. That's what my aunt says. One of my aunts deals with healthcare. She's my step-grandfather's daughter-in-law, and I talk to her every now and again. And she, what he calls, I think she talked about somebody in that family. What do you call lots and lots of overtime in healthcare services? Heck, be a traveling nurse. I hear that's the best job available right now. Have I seen the Roaring Cat tweet? Yeah, Roaring Kitty, yeah. I liked it. I mean, it set off a whole chain reaction here, and that's for sure. Hey, Matt, it's happy to see you. Do I know AMC stock all time around $300 per share due to a 10-to-1 reverse split? Yeah, again, when it comes to all this stuff, don't try to use some of those past data. If you want to use it for resistances and stuff like that, I mean, go for it. But really, you never know exactly how high this stuff is going to go. So if you were lucky enough to buy it yesterday or the day before, I mean, I would already be scaling out of my position at this point just to lock in something, because well, all I've seen is it go up, it go up, it go up, right? But then the government is halt, 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 and it just gets absolutely freaking insane. And I'm like, dude, it sucks so freaking much here. It's brutal. And hey, Haram, happy to see you, my man. Kitty just posted a tweet specifically mentioning GameStop. Oh, he did. This must be a new tweet here. Let's see. Okay. The prisoner wishes to say a word. Mercy. Oh, geez. He's going crazy with the memes now. But what's it supposed to be? I can't play it, obviously, because of what I can get in trouble with YouTube. I can play the video, not the sound. Frida. Oh, geez. I want to see CNBC share this tomorrow. Oh, this is it's classic. I like this. I like this one. the show. I love this movie, by the way. It's one of my favorite movies ever. You don't have to do this. I'm a day trader. I can just go home. Damn, he's posting a lot. I bet he got sent all of these and now he's just sharing all of them that he can. Or he maybe downloaded these off of Wall Street Bets. I don't even know this movie, honestly, so I'm a little bit behind on this one. Be my victim? Holy shit. Well, that's one way to talk about it. Oh, whoa. Get out of there. Get out of there. In what? What? That's slap. The heck is this? I mean, he's gone off the deep end with the memes. Not bad thing, just having fun. Is that Mr. Robot? I don't know. Lighten a match, I get it. Okay. Dude, he's going all for it again. That is wild. How many memes has he been doing today? We have a signal now when I'm needed. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. Oh. Jesus. Fear. Is it too... Oh, I was gonna say fear GameStop. He's been posting for a while. I can't tell if this is Dodgeball or something else. Is it Cheer Team? Dude, I feel like I don't know many movies. Hey, somebody is good. I think it's Ocean's 11 or something, this one. Just up. We'll look at some more in a little bit, but yeah, he's definitely been posting a lot of tweets after, a lot of freaking tweets. Right now, you're seeing Bitcoin get rejected off of this little bit of resistance here, this little bit of a downtrend. We'll see what happens next. You can see they're actually trying to force it down here too. And hey, Trev, happy to see my man. Didn't Gong King sell off 2 weeks worth of inflows in a day? Maybe Hong Kong? Maybe Hong Kong? They are selling off some inflows, yeah. But their inflows aren't a lot of money compared to ours, so it doesn't really make a dent in the overall Bitcoin price. They are going to have hundreds of millions of dollars flowing in and out in order to make any type of difference to the cryptocurrency markets. Candyman? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched Candyman. Nope. And I guess it's funny that he spoke about GameStop now while people are losing their jobs. Exactly what happened when GameStop went up. What do you call? Today I saw a lot of people talking about it on Fox Business and CNBC. Even if we go over here to CNBC right now, get out of the Amazon jobs section. Let's see. GameStop is in here somewhere. There we go. Oh, they're trying to crush it down. GameStop AMC attracting a fraction of retail trader interest as seen during the 2021 memes mania. And part of that's true. Not everybody has free money from the government, as you guys might recall. So, GameStop and AMC have seen big buying from mom and pop investors, but the purchases pale in comparison to the meme stock explosion seen 3 years ago. And I think part of this also is, guys, remember, they were so over leveraged in the shorts, the hedge funds last time around, that when this exploded, they themselves were having to buy to get out of the trade, which led to some really big moves. We're not seeing that same type of crazy high short interest where it's over 100%. The closest we have nowadays is right now is 86%. We're not above 100%. If you're looking for something to buy, though, I would still like a YOLO type play. FFIE is probably going to be your best bet. Again, a YOLO. It's a YOLO at the end of the day, but that's what's out there. Let's see. The video game selling movie theater chain saw more than 15.8 million and 37.5 million, respectively, in net retail trader inflows on Monday. Data from the Vanda Research shows. But that is dwarfed by peak daily inflows about 87.5 million for GameStop and 170 million for AMC last seen in late January 2021. That makes sense. People don't have as much money to be thrown into the market these days. Inflation is killing that amount of the excess capital. However, we're still looking like a pretty good move here, so I'm going to probably keep on watching and seeing where this goes. Oh man, Bitcoin getting pushed down a little bit more here. Isn't that kind of sus? Probably talking about Hong Kong. A little bit. I bet they're probably placing their bets that something bad is happening with the CPI data at this point. Had my finger on sell button. My second bull run, I'm up 5x now and got 70 grand nice cash. That's how I know it. Pump isn't coming. I'm not weak and I have emotions. What do you call this market has not been easy for a lot of investors. It's just, as a whole, it just has not been an easy experience. What we've been seeing is inflation really take the take the helm of what we've been talking about here. I was really hoping that the NASDAQ and the SPY were going up. That'd really push Bitcoin up, but it's really not doing that right now. Bitcoin is really wondering, really trying to make a move here to see what happens with interest rates, etc. And at this point, it's not looking good because of this, the PPI data we had today and potentially the CPI data we had coming out tomorrow. So, like if I go NASDAQ, look at the NASDAQ here. You can see right here, NASDAQ, it closed at all time. No, it didn't close at all time highs. Why do they keep saying? Why do they say it closed at all time highs? Oh, I thought somebody said that the NASDAQ closed at all time highs, but maybe it's not. Okay, anyway, NASDAQ is of course down now because it's hitting that level of resistance. But you can see a lot of stuff went up today. SPY went up, right? Dow Jones went up. A lot of stuff went up. Maybe it shouldn't have. We'll have to wait and see. I think eventually Bitcoin will catch back onto that, but it's going to take a minute. Remember, the weekly chart for Bitcoin and a lot of stuff here is bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Dow Jones, bearish, bearish, bearish. It's trying to turn positive right now. If I were to look at this, I would imagine a slam down is coming here, but we'll have to wait and see. NASDAQ, bearish, bearish, bearish. It might turn positive here, but again, until that really shifts over, it might just get slammed back down as well. So I'm keeping a close eye. SPY, bearish, bearish, bearish. We'll have to wait and see if we can have 1 or 2 more green weeks, and then everything should be back on course here. But let's not pretend like the stock market's in a very healthy position either. Right now, Bitcoin, if CPI is bad, we start heading back down here to 57,718, and then potentially from there we fall all the way back down here to like the low 50s. That's the course if CPI data is bad. So you might even see people, if they panic here, which is, people do it, it's okay, depending on how you guys are trading. They may sell all of their trades right here if they're afraid, and they might look to start buying it back down to the low 50s. You know, I'm not going to do that just because I have enough capital to kind of deploy here as we kind of come down, but this could really lead to a more prolonged, boring time in cryptocurrency markets until we start to have something more good from better inflationary data. And right now, inflationary data, of course, is it's not been good. There we go here. Kind of watching some of these plays swing out. And I actually got, I'm not selling or yielding, but accumulating dry powder for altcoins, guys. Maybe meme coins, different chains and stuff. Guys, it's okay. Like, a lot of people already have positions in this market. Some people aren't even going to be buying at this point. It really just depends on what everybody's original plan was. For me, I'm just going to continue dollar cost averaging, waiting this market out, and I'll be doing some day trades when I see the opportunities. Have there been a lot of opportunities? I mean, there's been a few for day trading. I've taken a few with you guys, but ultimately I haven't seen the best market conditions for me. Hopefully they can liven up here soon enough. Like, let's go over here very fast. Over the last 30 days, kind of what's been happening. Pepe's up 100% in the last 30 days. Meme tokens are a big part of that, but not the only thing. But you can see Pepe's up 100% last 30 days. Bonk is up 45. AR is up 37. Floki's up 30. AKT is up 30. HBAR is up 27. Near Protocol's up 25. AIOZ up 15. Renders up 14. Tron 11. So Book of Meme, there's a lot of stuff here that's still doing okay over the last 30 days or so. Now, when we go to the flip side of this, though, you know, Pendle is down quite a bit after having a good year to date so far, so I'm not concerned here. Really, you know, Tao's down quite a bit after an okay year so far. So, you know, certain things are making money, certain things are not. Overall, it's worth it to be diversified at this point, or just be all in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin really hasn't gone down that much when you think about it. Right? Bitcoin's up 45% year to date, not nearly as much as some of the other tokens we talk about, but last 30 days it's only down about 6%. You know, it's not terrible. Year to date, you know, Dog with Hat is probably the winner. Pepe's up, Floki's up. All of those are meme tokens right there. Is the top 3 year to date. On the other side of this, for the top 100, you can definitely see there's some things that are just all in red. These are probably some things I might dollar cost average into a little bit, but I'm really looking to dollar cost average into stuff that's already been going up, already has a big following. When those suckers come down, I'm gonna be buying into those more heavily, which is why I've been doing a lot more of these types of tokens. Which again, you know, we'll be watching those closely. There we are. See me, there you go. And hey Steve, happy to see you, my man. I'm doing well. Smoking a cigar here. I haven't smoked in a hot minute. My car's brakes are all funny, so I have to go. Oh, I didn't respond to that, god damn it. And it's already at past 5. I gotta go get my brakes and rotors fixed pretty soon. That'll be fun. I'm trying to aim for it for sometime this week, but I'm trying not to drive. Well, I got an extra car, but try not to drive if I don't have to. So it's been weird staying inside. If it's only the first day of it, but I was like, maybe me and Loki can go to the beach today. Nah, I'll just stay home and play with him in the backyard. It's not bad. It's just the second car that I have is my sister's car that she didn't take to college. I can use it whenever, but it feels weird using the car that's not your own. So I'm gonna have to get used to driving it. I'm that type of guy. I have to get the feel for it. Because I originally trained on a truck with stick shift, you know, manual. Then I moved over to a Ford Explorer, another SUV. Then I moved over to a Ford Fusion with a car. And my sister has an Acura. I don't think I've maybe driven an Acura maybe a few times. It feels weird every time I get into it. And hey, Lux guy, rough day. Could be worse, you know. Right now, Bitcoin, of course, is still overall that bearish pattern, but we're just waiting to see what happens with the CPI data. CPI is I mean, if we're being frank, it doesn't look like it's going to be the best data, but we're hoping to be pleasantly surprised. And of course, you know, enjoying a nice cigar. Kind of feels nice. What do you call it? I was almost wondering if I was actually going to smoke today because when I woke up this morning, my entire nasal structure was like closed from swelling. But as soon as I woke up, it started to drain, which was good news. But yeah, I was just not in a pleasant mood this morning. Whenever I wake up with a stuffed nose, I go straight to taking a hot shower to get the steam in there. And I wash my face off like with 2 different washcloths, scrub hard, and then make sure nothing's in my nose. Oh my gosh, it was brutal. Because usually cigar smoke doesn't affect my nose all too much. Maybe a little bit, but not bad. Holland though, whoosh. Vanek created a meme coin index called Meme Coin. Do you know of it, or what exchange can you buy it? I have not heard of the Meme Coin Index, so let me check it out. Let me just do this right here. So Vanex's market vector starts index to track the largest meme coins. The index contains a variety of dog-themed coins and other popular meme tokens. So I just search for this, I guess. Market vector indexes, here we go. Right there below it. Meme coin index right here. Fine, you can have my cookies. Alright, so meme coin. Wait, meme coin market vector trademark meme coin index. The market vector meme coin index meme coin is a modified market cap weighted index which tracks the performance of the 6 largest meme coins. Meme coin refers to crypto assets often named after characters, individuals, animals, artworks, or other mimetic elements. Initially supported by enthusiastic online traders and communities, these coins are intended for entertainment purposes. So the index covers the largest 6 digital assets classified as meme coins by market vector indexes. Component weightings are capped at 30%. Review is every month. All right. So that means things can be pulled in and pulled out every single month based off of how they're doing. And you guys can see over the past few weeks and stuff, you know, years, things have gone back up after the crash over here. Last month, things have rallied back up a little bit here. So I don't think you can buy this. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we can buy this. Let me go over here to components, login required. All right, give me a second. Let me see if I can log into this. I can't log into something I don't have an account with. Oh, here we go. New here. Okay. I love the fact that my window's open. I can hear tons of chirping birds and the woodland critters. I'm basically registering here, and oh, invalid country. The fuck do you mean invalid country? What? Did I? Oh, I didn't put a country. I was like, there's no fucking way United States is not a valid country for this. I fill in the blank, didn't really fill in the blank there. QRSTU. There we go. Oh, the United States of America. Ah, that's why. Okay. There we go. Save that. Log in. Bad credentials? You gotta be fucking kidding me. What? Okay, maybe I gotta... Give me a second here. Okay, yeah, registration. Gotta activate my account, of course. There we go. Oop, where's that? There we go. Okay, my profile. Am I good now? Okay, I'm good now. Okay, so I'm back over here. And let me refresh this. Okay, there we go. Okay. Top components. Sorry about that. I had to make an account so I can show you what's in this sucker. We have Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Pepe, Dog with Hat, Floki Inu, and Bonk. So Floki versus Bonk on CoinMarketCap. They have a difference of just a few $100 million market cap, but when you look at the difference between Bonk and Floki and Book of Meme, they're drastically different. So it looks like these top ones right here, Dogecoin, Sheep, Pepe, Dog with Hat, Floki, and Bonk, these ones are going to stay in the command for a while. They probably won't see any large changes and shifts until the next big bull rally that we see here. So, I'm looking at Book of Meme, $700 million market cap. This thing was at over $1 billion a while ago. Now it's cut down quite a bit. Meme coin 425. So I own everything on this list. So I own Dogecoin, Sheep, Pepe, Dog with Hat, Floki, Bonk, Book of Meme, Meme coin, Popcat. I don't own any MAGA. Baby Dogecoin I own. Mog I own now. Mirai I own now. A Lady I own. Doge on Mars I own. Turbo I own. I don't think I own anything else below that. Whoa. So those are the tokens. And as far as how they're weighted right now, if I can go back over here, there we are. It looks like you would have to make your own portfolio if you wanted to do that. Like index details, specifications, calculator. Market cap is 46.2 billion. Base date. Yeah, I don't think you can actually buy this here. But I wish you could buy it. I mean, honestly, what you would do if you wanted to buy this is you could just say, hey, I want to make a custom ETF with $1,000, $500, $50, whatever. And then from there, you can go over to ChatGPT, and here, I'll do this very fast. There you go. So, oh, I gave it something and it kind of like ran with it. Okay. But basically, I want to make my own portfolio using this data with $1,000, component weight, Dogecoin, Shi, Pepe, Dogwood, Fat, Floki, right? And so it gave me the percentages here, right? Just brought them down, and they gave me the allocations. So if I had $1,000, $288 would go to Dogecoin, $288.90. $272 to Shiba Inu, $182 to Pepe, Dogwood Fat gets $117, Floki gets $77, and Bonk gets $61. This is kind of actually how I do it a little bit, which is kind of funny. If you guys see some of my accounts that I have, especially with Blowfin, those are only like 20 to 50 to $100 on some of those accounts. Now some have like hundreds of dollars in them, and some actually have thousands when you take out the leverage component. But that's kind of an easy way to show you what you could be doing with your capital here, in case you wanted to weight it a certain way. And and it kind of breaks it all down here. Oh, and this is putting it still, this is still giving it to me in talking points from my stream. But maybe I'll make this video today. I'm going to show you guys how to build a crypto portfolio with $1,000 based on specific weights for different assets. I tweak it to be more crypto related in that first introduction, but I can make a 1 to 2 minute video talking about that type of stuff. That'd be kind of fun. This ChatGPT 4.0, it's excuse me, it's a lot better than I expected. It's just, it understands what I'm looking for, and it gives me that a little bit easier. It's not giving me all that kind of like, I didn't ask for that shit, I asked for this shit. I'm enjoying it a little bit more here, and I don't have to pay anything more. I'm already paying for ChatGPT, so it makes sense. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist I'm getting for right now. Woodland Critters, dude. Okay, I know a lot of people like to live in the city. I used to love to live in the city before I got, before I wanted to have Loki. And there is something nice about just sitting on your balcony or going in the backyard and you just hear birds. I know you guys can't hear them right now, but it's just like tweet, tweet, tweet. You know what I mean? It's a little nice stuff. And of course, Loki likes to chase the birds every now and again. He kills a bird, but he's usually really nice. Besides that, as long as he's not a bird or a bunny, he likes you. And hey, Villa, happy to see my man. Like the S&P 500, yeah, there you go. Schwab just bought them out. Oh, interesting. Boom is shit, fam. Send it to zero. Came out of nowhere, threw us all off. Focus on everything above. Well, usually when you see stuff rise that fast and it dies off, people are only in there just to ride the wave, and now you got a bunch of bag holders and people are doubling down into it, tripling down. It'll probably go up again, but you got to be careful. I own a small position in Book of Meme myself, but I don't know. I think it because it rose so fast, I didn't feel the need to chase into it. I put a lot more of my money into things like a Pepe, a Floki, Miro, Milady, like a lot of lower market cap tokens that ended up doing very, very well. Some that didn't do anything very well yet. I'm hoping that Milady token does something well. Maybe Turbo, stuff like that. But those are huge gambles there, so I only need a small amount of money to make those gambles there. And no worries, Tyler. Not Tyler. I saw thank you, sir. Thanks, man. No worries, Steve. I'm happy to help you out. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. And thanks for being a member. Of course. Looks like I'm gonna start a CB wallet on the CB platform. Only a few available. New York is tough. Available crypto. Yeah, New York is rough. Most people that I've seen that try to do this type of stuff in New York, they've always had to resort to use VPNs, and they always kind of feel kind of like, I don't want to do that, you know? And I think that's the only way I've seen them do it. So, I don't think I've seen anybody actually leave New York to go buy cryptocurrencies. It's more like, while you're on vacation, you go buy something. You know what I mean? You take your laptop while you're on vacation to another state, and you're like, oh yeah, well, I'm here, might as well buy up some cryptocurrency. One of my friends actually lives in New York. He doesn't have like a lot of capital or anything like that, but what he does do is he manages a lot of his cryptocurrency. He's like a long-term trader though, not a day trader. He manages a lot of his stuff in Vegas, which I think is hilarious. Have I seen that ups and downs of the ICT kill zone and pivots? Indy, I don't know. I have not seen the kill zones yet. It should be interesting though. If you know the level, let me know. Hey USA, what's going on with the bull market and Doge and Ethereum? Right now, everything is going to be the same answer at this point. What's happening is everybody wants interest rates to go down. That will cause the dollar index in the scheme of things to come back down quite a bit. And this move for the dollar index that has us breaking down below this is where we see Bitcoin go to all-time highs and stuff like that and have some really good moves. And in fact, it's not even that move. That's the weekly chart. We're looking to break down here. And let me just draw this line so when we go to the weekly chart, I can show you what I'm talking about. There we go. In order to see the Bitcoin market kind of go back up, we need to see this broken down and start heading back down here before eventually coming back up. We'll have to wait and see exactly the circumstances for that. But right now, a big chunk of that is going to be inflation. Today, we had poor CPI data coming out. That means we're probably not going to be having rate cuts anytime soon. And of course, the market doesn't typically like that all too much. That's been a real big headwind on Bitcoin and everything else. Over the past few weeks, I know we've been talking about this ad nausea, but everything's been this bearish neutral here. And bearish neutral kind of means a controlled bearish move. We've been seeing it for quite a bit of time. If I were to input, there we go. What the smart money concepts on here, you can see that we've been bullish for a hot minute. We've been doing very well. Let me go auto and there you go. We've been bullish for a while. And overall, we're still in a good bullish trend for the very, very long term here, However, on the daily chart, we've been bearish here for a hot minute because inflation has been peaking and people are getting more worried about that. And we haven't found a way to get back into being bullish as of yet. Once the weekly chart gets back to being bullish here on the MACD, stochastic, and RSI, which everything right now is bearish, then you're going to see Bitcoin start to turn up a little bit more and start getting a little bit better. Unfortunately for us right now, because of this higher inflation data from the PPI and possibly tomorrow with CPI, which is going to be a big move, so just be prepared for more volatility. What may end up happening here if we have bad CPI data is that Bitcoin will break down below the 20-week moving average right here and take that next leg down right around this old level of support and resistance, which happens to be around $52,500, and it may try to finally bounce up there and then make a larger move. Again, it may even break down lower than that if things get really, really bad for month after month after month. But I think because we've been such bad inflation data all through this time, we've still found a way to gradually go down. We have the Japanese bank and a prop up Japanese yen pretty soon. That'll also be a good tailwind for Bitcoin. But that's part of the gist going on right now. If I go over here very fast and I just pull out the monthly chart and I get rid of that old line, get your nice little Fibonacci's. You can see right now, the next Fibonacci level of support is at 51,033. 51,033, or you can just say 51,000. If I were to take off log here, we are already at that level of support right now, and we are desperately trying to hold on to it. The next level after that is 51,500. 51,506, kind of around that $52,000 level. I'd be curious to see how the market reacts to that. Overall, I think we're fine for holding, for if you want to hold for months and months and months, but week by week, we're not looking like we're in the best of situations at this point. Let me go back over here very fast. There are other levels you could use, like this one right here, and you can see we've already broken down below that. If I go over here to the weekly chart, we tried to hold, we broke down here, we might be heading back down here to 55,000 or so. For this one, of course, there's not really much levels of resistance in the past, so I'm not trusting it all too much. But again, there's one there. And then, of course, if I were to put the log back on here, you can see that that level of support is right around here, around 57,000. So there's a few levels of support you could be going for. I don't talk about this one primarily because look at it. It's right where the 20-week moving average is. But afterwards, you see we come back down here to $48,000, $48,704, and that is the old level of resistance right here. If I were to go over here and extend lines left, you'll see it actually matching up right here as well. So, at worst with this whole scenario, if we have bad month after bad month, like if we have a whole other quarter of bad months, then we might get as far as 48,800. That would take a lot of bad news. Also, we seem to every now and again get a nice pump with Bitcoin off of bad economic data because that leads us to have better interest rates. It would be extraordinary to have month after month after month of really bad inflation and then also having the economy grow more rapidly. If that happens, that's like a doomsday scenario for the entire market, just because of, inflation would be rampant. I don't think we're there. And I think if we even got close, something would break before then, I would say, with inflation. That's probably the best way of saying it. All right, let's go back over here very fast. Watch this play out. There we are. But yeah, it has not been a good time. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of it, they're definitely in some strains at this point in time. And again, we're just waiting to see what inflation does. Just so you know, though, inflation is coming. The inflation data for CPI is coming out tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Where I live, it's going to be 5:30 in the morning Pacific time. If you guys are in other countries, it might be very early, very late. Like it is early for me. However, that's one of the things you guys just have to understand here. Things can get good, things can get bad. But everything for the next 30 days or so really hinges on what we're seeing with inflation. Because if, let's say, CPI data is very good and Bitcoin starts roaring back up to $65,000, $66,000 over the next couple weeks, after that, we have to start looking at the next inflationary point here, which is not going to be in CPI data for June. Instead, we're going to have to look at this, which is going to be FOMC meetings coming up. And then we're starting to look over here for June, which is June 11th and June 12th. Back this up right here off of the short interest. Let's go to CPI data. Releases, dates, dots. And then we're talking about June 12th. So June 12th. Yeah, shit, it's gonna be a shit show. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but the chaos that will ensue on the FOMC meeting and CPI date will be something of extraordinary bullishness or extraordinary bearishness. And we're gonna start the morning with CPI data, and then we're gonna finish off the day towards the end of the trading day with Jerome Powell. For that one, I'm actually going to stream in the morning, and I'll probably start streaming at 5 o'clock in the morning my time, and I will proceed to be streaming for maybe 8 or 9 hours, and then I won't stream for the rest of the night after that, because I'll just be doing a whole day of covering the most volatile crypto market ever. And if I am forced to stream later on that night, I'm going to stream, but I will be smoking a cigar, I will be drinking some scotch, and then I will go after that to the cigar lounge, and I will drink some more scotch, and I will smoke some more cigars. It'll be a freaking long day. But again, we're not there yet. Right now, we're in April, May, things are fine. We have another April, May one coming up right here. Actually, that's the April 30th to the 1st. We already passed that one. So, we're kind of in this holding pad here overall. But again, in between that, we can definitely come back down to 58,000, so forth here. The worst case scenario, like 48,000. Nah, I'm not worried about that at all right now. That would happen sometime in this summer if it was going to happen at all. I don't think it's going to happen unless we have some like really, really bad data. And again, if we have really, really bad data, I'll let you guys know. So far, I've just been dollar cost averaging. It's been the way to go. It always proves itself right, especially in these types of markets. But this market this time around is just so much more difficult. So much more difficult because we're usually not having to deal with high interest rates. Since this one I'm looking for. Nope. Oh, there it is, right below it. Next, okay, there you go. You can see historically, you know, we've been kind of in flat. Remember 2008, flat. Over here, 2017, 2018, 2019, we were coming up a little bit, but not really much. The rest of the world was doing their things. We gave up before then in 2019. And if you guys recall, let's see if we go back to like the last 5 years. Yeah. See how in 2019 we were coming down, 2019 coming down, 2019 coming down. Let's go. $2019 is right here. It's where we started to go down. All we're waiting for right now is basically just Bitcoin to freaking get its act together. Or sorry, the Fed to get its act together, inflation gets its act together. When all that stuff kind of works out for us, boom, we're fine. But you notice a lot of parallels here. Now, back in 2022, when we started to hike rates, of course, this was kind of interesting for Bitcoin because in 2022, you could see this started off in April of 2022, right? And from here, April, it's not going to be the spot where you think it is. So April is... Oh, never mind. April's right there. So we had a spike, or actually, let's see. April started right here. Is that it? April right here, okay. You can kind of see that move. However, we kept on going up till August of 2023. Right. So we can kind of ebb and flow when rates are kind of going higher and lower. You know, we can do it. We can go up and, you know, and do that type of stuff. However, I think right now we're just kind of at a pivot point where we really don't want to come back down. We really just want to see that continue to go higher. That's the big gist of what I'm telling you guys right now. Again, not everything. It's not like, you know, as we kept on raising rates, Bitcoin came down. It's when the market starts to say, you know, something can happen here, yada. We can feel it. Of course, with Bitcoin, we were really getting artificially pushed down because of exchanges falling off cliffs. If you guys recall that crazy time, I think we were just bouncing around back into a more neutral position here. But again, you can see how that might, these things, the dollar index matters. The dollar index does definitely matter. It's not perfect. It's not the only thing you guys should be looking at. Other technicals, yes, you know, other trends, we talk about this a lot, even GAN fans and stuff of that nature. You can do it all. I'm just saying there's a huge correlation between where the dollar index is and where Bitcoin ends up going. So right now, as we see them, you know, rates are flat. When this starts to cut back down, I think you will probably see something similar to what we saw back in 2019, where we saw Bitcoin coming back up here. Now, I'm not saying that we have a huge, massive parabolic move. We might only have a move that takes us back up to freaking $100,000 and then we end up crashing all the way back down for another bear market cycle. It could be something as simple as that. It may go even higher. We still don't know where the high point of this market is going to be at all. Everything here is, as Benjamin Cohen says, a dubious speculation. That is true. But we have some, you know, we have historical data that says, hey, we will definitely most likely be going up in those circumstances. And then you guys will be looking to sell off altcoin season, stuff like that, and being able to make a good chunk of money here. You really just have to make sure you're in the right tokens or at least diversified. But for Bitcoin and Ethereum, oh yeah, they're going to go higher. Solana, yeah. There are certain tokens right now, if you look at Bitcoin here on this weekly chart, you can see Bitcoin's close to all-time highs. Not every token is there, and that's because a lot of these tokens will have to go through their altcoin season rallies. But, you know, you look at something like a SHIB. You know, it's close enough to the all-time highs. You can think of it, you can see it getting there. Dogecoin, it can get there. You can see it getting there, right? You can see it. You can imagine an altcoin season really pushing it up there. You got stuff like ADA. You can imagine it. It's in a really, really bad position where ADA looks like it wants to come really far down right now. But it could. I mean, ADA looks like it wants to come all the way back down to the 30-cent range. But XRP, it could do it, you know? Matic, it can pull it off. But maybe something like Mana. Can Mana pull it off? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Sand? I don't know. Maybe, but you know, I'm not entirely sure. Fetch AI, you know, it's already above all-time highs. This thing can keep on going parabolic. NMR, yeah, it can do it. Ajax, well, it already did it, so yeah. It's a newer token though, but these are going to be turned into that AI token AGI or something like that. Maybe GRT here, you know, that can do it. You can see an AI token pumping up that much back up to 137 or 290 because the market cap situation. You could see it. ID token. Oh, this is from a while ago. That's a little bit too new. Ethereum Classic. Going to be difficult, but you could see it here. You could see those opportunities. But I think this is one of those markets where you're really going to have to, not every token may make all-time highs. And it's going to be noticeable about the lack of these tokens making all-time highs. So even if Bitcoin's going crazy and all other altcoins are going crazy, I still might sell a lot of the other tokens that haven't reached all-time highs. I'm still going to be selling them like everything else, just because I want to make sure I'm locking in those profits. Because again, let's say I bought Ethereum Classic right now, and let's say it doesn't hit 179, but instead it hits somewhere up here at the peak of the market, somewhere up here around 72 bucks. That's still 181% profit. I'll still be selling that, and I'll still be very, very happy for that. You know, so there's different ways of going about it. There are many different ways of going about this situation. I just wish it was a simpler time. A very simple time. It is not. Now, why is everything off? Is this the, yeah, so that should be on. That should be off. That should be on. No. There we go. Now this doesn't feel right though. I'm not on the right one. I'm on the right one. I'm not on the left one. There we go. Oh, and one more thing here, actually, if you just want to pay attention to this. We don't have crazy divergences yet, which is kind of nice. Normally we have some really bad divergences before we take larger dips. Daily chart kind of stuck at this point. A little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Doesn't always work out, as you guys can see. However, we don't really have many signals with us at this point in time. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for that, but we're just not there. 4 hour, actually, yes. You can see some of these signals working out. This one was a big buy signal right there. You know, again, we'll see. You don't really buy all these just because of all the craziness. Like, you're not going to short after this signal comes in. You might short that, but again, you're probably looking for that change of character right here to push it down just for that small move back up to that level of resistance. Resistance as a short, or maybe a support as a long. All right, let's go back over here though. There we are. And hey, Jerry, happy to see you from Bangkok. Am I familiar with Flow token? I am not, but I'm always open to hearing more about different tokens. What is my guess on CPI? If the forecast is for 3.4%, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 3.5 or 3.6 at this point. Inflation has not been good, guys. It just hasn't been good so far. If it is lower than that, I'd be pleasantly surprised. I like to be pleasantly surprised, but you know, if I was taking an educated guess, we're probably going to have worse than expected CPI. I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I have one small long open right now, just in case it is good. I have a stop loss at this point in time, and I'm going to wait to see what happens with it. But it's mostly just kind of a more fun trade on a YOLO off of what could be happening with CPI. You know, if you guys aren't used to trading in these types of environments, it's going to feel very, very rocky. You're going to feel like you're getting whiplash every freaking day because of all these trades. Imagine trying to day trade here as a new investor. Like, let's say you buy right here, you know, and you have a stop loss right there and you're waiting for it to go higher. You know, we get some bad data coming out, then boom, it comes crashing down. You sell, you know, then you're like, uh-oh, it came all the way back up. Maybe I should buy. Then it goes down again, goes back up, goes all the way back down. You lose money again. It's just a roller coaster ride that most people aren't ready to go for. You know, right now, I think it's probably okay to be long until the CPI data comes out, but that'd be something more of a day trade and not something of a swing where you're looking to hold for a week to 2 weeks to make large amounts of money. I think I've been telling you, well, yeah, I know I have been telling you guys this for a while. I'm mostly looking at different trades that are going to last between 24 to about 30 hours. That's my sweet spot, is how long I would try to hold. You can hold for less time than that. That's perfectly fine. That's probably even better. But if you want to give yourself a chance for something of a robust move that's over like $1,000, $2,000 a day, you're usually trying to hold for that 36-hour time. You go over here to an hour chart. Once it stops freezing on me, there we go. You can see when you get these change of character moves and you're looking to play off of those, like, you know, bullish momentum and stuff, but it looks like it started right here. You know, you're only looking at maybe a couple hours of holding, maybe a few hours if you really want to squeeze every drop. Let's say you're buying right here off of a support level, you know, then you're only in it for maybe 6 hours. A lot of these moves that they're happening, even over here, let's say you got the very bottom, that's 11 hours. You're not in the market for very long, no matter what's happening at this point. This move over here, that's 4 hours. If you're going up towards resistance level, if you want to go all the way over here, that's a day. If you're buying all the way over here, you know, and you're selling up there, that's 2 days and 19 hours. You guys can do it if you want to, but what I've been saying here is I'm happy to take this profit from like here to there. That's plenty for me with leverage. This to this right here, that's plenty enough for me. Trying to see where I might be looking to buy. It's usually off these reversals here. If I want to buy right here off of this breakout, I'm looking to sell right here. That's 1.13%. Stop loss is down here. So if that's the case, I'd probably be looking for this resistance level up here. So it might be a little bit longer, but still, it's still around that 1 day max, 1.5 days max. I'm not looking for anything beyond that, to be frank. I know I've told you guys this a lot, but you know, every time I try to give you a little bit of reasoning behind it. And even right now, if Bitcoin manages to break out right here, there are some levels of resistance ahead of us. You can see that. However, hold on a second here, guys. Remember what we talked about in the 4-hour charts. It'd be a slow move up here. It could be a robust move back up to $62,000. That's what I'm hoping for. 62,000 what? 62,400. But then CPI data comes into play here, so that could cause some chaos there. However, you see that resistance level right there. The 2-hour chart. Let it marinate in here. Right here, there's some levels of resistance around 62,800. 1-hour chart. Again, I think this is probably the best way for day traders at this point. Moves up, a high point of 62,000. I'm not even aiming for that. I'm aiming for this level of resistance right there. That's all I'm hoping for at this point with this long. You know, for the long with the YOLO, for the swing, for the CPI data, that's obviously much higher. That goes into a 2, 3 day, 4 day period. But again, this is a separate scenario where I'm looking to YOLO in here and look for a large move afterwards. That's going to be catapulted by economic data, which can have a very large move on what Bitcoin does. That's a whole different scenario. There are times where I make really professional trades, and sometimes there's just trades I do with you guys because I'm like, let's try to have some hope here, and instead of you guys losing your money, let me lose my my money. It's like one of the YouTubers I watch that's down in Vegas. His name is Vegas Matt. He's like, don't gamble, let me gamble on your behalf. Hey GT, a little bit for PPI, not the biggest indicator out there, right? But it is enough to make me think, Yeah, it's probably going to trend in that direction where it's a little bit hotter. We could have another scenario like we had today, though, where today's inflation was higher than expected, but they revised last month's data down enough where everybody was kind of happy with the news. So we could have hotter than expected CPI data coming out tomorrow where instead of having 3.4%, it's 3.5%. But then we learned that last month's 3.5% was actually only 3.3% or 3.4%, and that could actually be some good news for us there. So that could cause a little bit more like, what do we do? Is that good? Is it bad? Who knows? At this point in time, because Bitcoin's at support, it would still probably end up being bad. You'd probably still see altcoins having some issues, but ultimately it would be what does it mean for the dollar index? And I think the dollar index would probably treat that as a positive, which would be negative for the bull market, or for the crypto market. Hello. Here, hold on a second, guys. Let's move that over there so you get touch that. You want to be a good boy? Come here. You're waking up from a nap, aren't you? Oh yeah, look at, he even got his ears down. When he's eating, he don't care. He just wants to chomp on his food. He's good. Oh, you come back for more. Oh. Nom 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 nom. They call me Jet Li. All right, there we go. You a good boy? Yes, you're a very, very good boy. All right. All right, so that's kind of the gist of what I'm seeing here today, guys. You know, again, if you guys wanted to long, there's a few different ways of going about it. Well, 6:30 right now. I started the stream at 5 o'clock, I believe it was. You know, like an hour and a half ago, I was telling you guys, meme coins are probably still going to be the best spot for you. If you guys don't like meme coins, you guys could try to rotate into AI tokens or just stick with Bitcoin. Either way, I think there's a day trade to be played, but it's really no more than a day trade, so you're not looking at, you know, life-changing incomes here. But still, a few $100, a few bucks, depending on how much money you have in the rest of the market, it's still worth a try. Right now, Bitcoin's not doing much at this point. It's up for the day. That's good. Let's see. Let's the 15-minute chart. Wild tokens up a little bit. Excuse me, world tokens up a little bit. This is something I might look at for AI tokens. It might be the AI token I'm looking at because it fell down so much yesterday. I mean, like so much yesterday. But, you know, beyond that, you know, think of a Pepe. I'd be happy to buy this. Sheeb, I might be happy to buy that one. Floki moving up here a little bit more. STMX is moving up a little bit more here. Those are some of the things. You got Milady token right here. This is a very, very low market cap token, but it's coming down quite a bit here. You know, things like AMD, they might have a reversal right here. There's some opportunities. You know, Dogecoin here maybe has a bump and breakout. There we go. But most of you guys are probably just sitting on your hands waiting for the news to come out tomorrow. And anyway, last bull market 2021, 20% made new all-time highs. There you go. That's a good way to look at it right there. How to do an inverse head and shoulders failed to break. I'd probably say about 30% of the time. It really, like, if you want to trade a head and shoulders, a good indicator is what's happening on the MACD around that. Like, is the MACD on the daily chart when you're looking at maybe a 4-hour head and shoulders or a 3-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, 15, whatever? If the MACD on that is kind of bullish, you're typically going to have a much better chance of that inverse head and shoulders actually having the confirmed breakout and going higher. I'd follow the momentum along with that. That's my personal trading strategy. I think there's a good enough amount of people that use the MACD and stuff like that. I like to use a multitude of different oscillators, but again, momentum I think is a crucial key to figuring out what's happening with the inverse head and shoulders. Because again, during that consolidations, it's usually heading sideways, if not kind of giving you the impression of almost a sideways down move. When that breakout happens, you're hoping that you've been coming up for a while, you've just stagnated here, and then you're going up even further. So it's just kind of a little bit of a wait, and then you're going higher. But you should have that little bit of a move right there. I wouldn't be trying to trade a move that's gone down, inverse and shoulders up, unless I already see that's within a very large move, like on a very large momentum on like a larger time frame there. That can be more difficult to trade. And hey, Dick Max, increase Inflation Act, not reduce Inflation Act. Well, okay, it's politics. They're not gonna tell you what it really does. They put a lot of money into different sectors. When you flood the country with money, the money becomes a little bit more worthless because there's so much more supply. I don't really have a high opinion of the current administration. I wish that they were better at their jobs, sure, but I'm just happy right now they're not a wild card when it comes to like what we're talking about. We know they're going to spend more money. We know they're going to be more inflationary. We just did tariffs. Tariffs lead to more inflation. So, whether it's Obama doing tariffs, Trump doing tariffs, Biden, it is inflationary by nature. Typically, the luxury that I think Trump and Obama had, and even Bush back in the day, even Clinton when they did the tariffs, we weren't really dealing with very high amounts of inflation. So when we get them, when we deal with it, it's like, oh, that one little thing over there is more expensive. We can deal with it. Right now, I think Biden can have a little bit of that, but the perception right now is like, damn, dude, like prices fucking suck. Let's chill out a little bit. Let's chill. But again, we got to deal with it no matter what's happening right now. I'm not so much mad at Biden for inflation as like the anti-crypto policies. But again, if I was back in like when I was born in like the 90s and I didn't have enough gas to get to school and stuff like that, and I remember asking my rich friends at school, like, hey, can I borrow a few bucks so I can get home, right? I would feel really mad about the current way the government's being run and like inflation and energy policies. So I'd feel a lot more angry. But now that I'm where like I am now, as far as being a little bit more financially secure, being able to not worry about gas and stuff as much, I'm more concerned about the stuff that stops my money from making me money. And I think you're going to see that with a lot of different influencers out there, to be honest. And where I feel the empathy for it, I don't have that same, I can't feel it the same way as I used to, if that makes sense. Like, I've been there, I understand it, it sucks, it sucks. But right now, I think the majority of influencers that you guys see, or content creators, whatever you want to call people like me, Tom Crown, Crypto Lifer, Crypto Face, whatever you call us, Crypto RS, whatever you call us, we're thinking about what's affecting the market most of all. And to be frank, the Biden administration has been very, very good for wealthy people. And I talk with my grandparents a lot on how their 401k is doing, how their houses are doing, because they're absolutely loving it. They hate the increased costs of goods and stuff because they hate all that. Don't get me wrong, but when you think about the wealth, when you see the war happening in Ukraine or Israel, what did I do? I told you guys to buy a military-industrial complex. We used to rant about how they were horrible. Now we celebrate them. And if you see people celebrating the military-industrial complex and be like, hey guys, let's give them unlimited amounts of money to make arms. What are you going to buy? Or when you see, hey, we're going to make oil prices more expensive, who's going to profit off of that with higher oil prices? The big oil, So it may be bad for everyday Americans, but if you have capital to deploy, this has been a golden age for the market. And it's weird talking like that, but like, I think we've all grown up to kind of be distrustful of the government. I think we all kind of think about, hey, I don't like the military-industrial complex. I don't like big oil. We kind of all have different viewpoints. People, you could like big oil, you could like industrial, you could like whatever. But when you see the way the government's just like throwing money at them, how could you not invest? That's always been my thing. Like, if you see the government's making all these big notions of huff and puff, the media is going to huff and puff. Well, no, the media, this time around, the media is not huffing and puffing. They're promoting that. And so because of that promotion, you've seen public sentiment change. Remember, Nobody's talking. Well, there are a few people, maybe on the far left and the far right. They're saying maybe libertarians, the conservative side, and just far left people. They're like, stop it, you know. But those viewpoints get drowned out very easily. I think if you're on the far right, like a libertarian, you can be called something bad by the media. Same with the far left, you can be called something bad by the media. At the end of the day, guys, just follow the money. I mean, if you understand the government is not there to support you, it's up there to support all the big shots, you know. Think of the old institutional families. It's there to support them. If it's there to support them, just copy them. And that's why I told you guys I've been holding oil for years and years and years. Well, only now am I starting to sell it right now because, again, the economy is starting to slow down. There's a whole host of things. Don't use that type of stuff to decide who you want to vote for, sure. But when it comes to investment decisions, just follow the money. The CHIPS Act, you know how much money that CHIPS Act is going for? Oh, maybe I'll do that another day. Maybe even today. Hold on. We could use maybe the new ChatGPT to break down everything where the money's going in the CHIPS Act. That could be kind of cool. Oh, hold on. So, well, hold on a second here. J Powell, that's my freaking guy. He can make it pop if he wants to. Oh yeah, he just has to say a couple words and boom, we're off to the races. Sitting on my hands for 2 months, not a horrible idea, 12. So surprising that Bitcoin didn't move with the Hong Kong ETF and Japan approval of Ethereum ETF. Do you know why price didn't move up? The capital that they put into the market has been very small so far. It hasn't been as large as the USA. I'm hoping that changes eventually. But it did take a little bit of time, like last time, before those moves ended up doing anything. We'll wait and see. At least they might not have to deal with a grayscale to be offloading a shit ton of Bitcoin. All right, so let me do this very fast. All right, so I said, tell me in detail where the money from the Inflation Reduction Act is going. Like, what companies can I infer might get the funds? All right, how about that? Climate change and clean energy companies, healthcare subsidiaries and prescription drug costs, tax reforms and IRS funding, deficit reduction. So, climate change and clean energy investments, approximately $369 billion. Significant investments in wind, solar, and other renewable energy sources. We are also doing tariffs on Chinese goods, which is going to raise the prices, which means American companies might get a little bit of a pump up here if you guys are thinking long term. A little bit more iffy on my thing. I've never really been a fan of renewable energy to be because they usually don't turn a really good profit. But anyway. Energy efficiency, energy vehicles, subsidies or tax credits for EV purchases, as well as funding for EV charging infrastructure. One of the reasons I've been buying more Rivian and Tesla for long-term holds here, not short-term, but long-term. These things kind of take a while. Rich people can wait a while. Renewable energy companies like NextEra Energy, First Solar, and SunPower. Let's go over here to this. Finviz. Now, when was the bill passed? 2022. All right, it does take a little bit of time to deploy that capital, so it's not the same as a policy decision change, like a let's stop oil from new drilling, that that type of stuff. But NextEra Energy Partners, that's what I was looking at a few seconds ago, wasn't it? Yeah, Nextera Energy. Or so one's partners, one's energy. Okay, so this is the one we're looking at. And this is daily, weekly, monthly. All right. So they got help at the end of 2022. Right over here. You see how the price went down? It didn't really mean much. Again, I don't like renewable energy. That's just me. But you can see since then, we've kind of had a normal pop, and I wonder what that is. They're profitable. That's good. Dollars. What made them pop? What's the reasoning behind it? Now, again, this is not where I'd be putting my money, even if this says something good here. Bear with me, though. No, where is... Oh, I got a story continues, I see. Let's see. Data center power? Oh, power generators. Okay. I don't know if I mean, maybe we do need more generators in the country. That's not something again, energy sector, non-oil is not something I pay attention to. Maybe that is something that could be good for a long-term hold. First solar, let's see how this one worked out. Ah, this one took off towards the end when the bill was coming through. This one actually did take off quite well. It did come back down a little bit in 2023, 2024. That's interesting, but it's come back up. This one did take off. So that is something right there. Now, this one is maybe something more practical. First Solar Inc. Okay, so, you know, basically solar power. That one, really good move. And sun power here. I don't know any of these companies, so please bear with me. Noma can be a little bit more informative. This in 2022 did not do anything. This one actually came crashing down. I had a spike at 2021, but it's either not profitable. You don't want to touch them that's not profitable. Downgrade, downgrade, downgrade. Did it pop up today? It's at 50. Oh, it's a meme coin thing right now. It turned into a meme token, a meme stock. It was probably heavily shorted. Yeah, short float 95.11%. Yowza. So this has kind of caught on to the meme stock craze. I would still not be messing with it. The fuck? Okay, I was like, what the heck was that? But you see all of this stuff going on right now. So you got energy, you know, firm like Johnson Controls, Honeywell, Siemens, Tesla, General Motors, and Ford, Panasonic, LG Chem, and QuantumScape. Be careful with electric vehicles, only because those are also related to interest rates. So how much does it cost to get the loan for a car? You know, so you got to think about all these things when you put them all together. But following the money never hurts as long as you can kind of find a sector that you like. For me, like I said, I've never been a green energy person. I have friends that hate that I trade big oil. All I care about is my money. If you guys care about that stuff, by all means, don't buy it. But, you know, if you guys are looking to do it, it could be interesting. You know, potential benefits. Let's see. Healthcare subsidies. Let's see anything else. Deficit reduction summary. Yeah, so basically, you know, those are some ideas. They didn't really give me many opportunities, many companies. Most of them was in energy, and I don't know clean energy at all. But again, you guys get the point I'm trying to make here. There you go. Well, if we're lucky, Bitcoin will break out here. And hey, Dick Max again. Every time I read your name. Let's see. Biggest Dickus. I just think of Monty Python every time. Yeah, I'm not pleased with the way they deal with it. Who is in the right mind who would increase tariffs for green energy goods, yet they keep talking about the climate change? Because they're trying to protect American jobs, and as much as we want to promote globalism, I think what happened was Trump tapped in, rightfully or wrongfully, it doesn't matter to me. He tapped into that feeling that, hey, we like some, there are people out there that like their manufacturing jobs. They like their jobs, their union job. They have a job where they can make some good money, go home and support a whole family, and everybody's really happy. Those guys were losing those jobs because China can make all of that stuff cheaper. Asia can make that stuff cheaper. And that meant that less jobs in America. Well, that's those specific jobs. And then when liberals at one point said, hey, you can learn a new job, they were like, you fucking kidding? Like, I'm 40 years old. Why do I need to fucking learn a new job? Just get, right? Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Remember, learn to code, that little thing? Again, it's all grimy stuff. There's a whole bunch of give and take that has to be done with this type of stuff. But the way they handle it, it does cause problems overall. It would be nice to have some of those cheaper Chinese cars in the US of A. I think that'd be really cool. Like, if you guys look here, all right. Small, well-built Chinese EV called the Cigar poses a big threat to the US auto industry. Well, guess what? Not anymore, because we're going to have massive tariffs. The Cigar sells for around $11,000 in China, yet the electric vehicle made by conglomerate BYD drives well and is put together with craftsmanship that rivals US-made EVs that cost quite a bit more. So go over here to BYD. We looked at their page before, but I want to show you guys this. I just got to have a ChatGPT. Let me get rid of a lot of these things here very fast. Get rid of that. Go back over here to ChatGPT. Okay, I'm gonna open this up over here so we can kind of watch Bitcoin price action. I want to see if it breaks out. And I want to type in here, today Biden signed new tariffs for China goods. All right, so today Biden signed new tariffs for China goods, and detail what exactly will the tariffs be affecting, what percent of tariffs are being added. So let me see if it gives me good information, if it actually researches it. It's searching the web here. We can see. So we'll increase duties on Chinese EVs, raising them from the existing 25% to a higher yet unspecified rate. This move aims to bolster U.S. competitiveness in the strategic sectors such as clean energy. Additionally, tariffs will be applied to critical minerals used in EV batteries, like rare earth metals. These measures are part of a broader strategy to counter China's dominance in these markets and support domestic production. That's the main reason why. Remember, this is a Trump policy right here. Funny enough, Biden actually said this was not a good policy. But again, once you get into office and you see what works and how you have to like win people over, you start to change your mind a little bit here. Difference between leading and campaigning, if you will. Everybody does it, not just Biden. Everybody does it. Trump, Bush, Biden, Obama, they all do it. However, I wonder if I can... maybe CBS News has it. The tariffs on Chinese EVs will rise to 100%, quadrupling the current tariff of 25%. Holy shit. So yeah, they're trying to not let one Chinese vehicle come into the United States. But again, you go over here to BYD, you can see the different cars. They got this, we got this car right here. I don't know much about their cars. I don't like the website. Okay, let's go right here. BYD Han. This is a luxury vehicle. Just show me the fucking whole car. There we go. You know, that kind of looks like a Tesla, right? I mean, how the handles are and everything like that. Always go with the black or the silver. I never go for white, blue, or red, gray, or silver. Personal preference. You guys can have your own. But again, I think BYD cars. BYD cars list here. Well, we just talked about the other car that they had on that little list right there, right? Maybe. Okay, whatever. It's not there anymore. No. Alright, but you guys are the point I'm trying to say. It's not going to be easy, you know, it's going to cause some pain and stuff like that. It's jobs, it's the economy, you know, they do all the type of stuff. It's all not games, but it's kind of like games, right? With the real consequences. And at 12, I don't think people want to pay taxes for that. Hey, Raj, options buying safe right now? Wrong. I can't pronounce that. What do you call? I would probably say. I mean, you could trade options right now if you wanted to. You can. It's just that tomorrow is going to be very, very volatile, so just be careful with it. And hey, Jeff, happy to see my man. No worries. Yeah, what do you call? Seagull, thank you. Yeah, what the heck? Why isn't it showing up? Why is there no website on it, though? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. No, it's just an article. So maybe it's not, okay, so it's not in America, but I should be able to, like, see it, right? Madeinchina.com. Oh, my God. Look at this. You know? $9,000, $9,500. You better believe there's Americans who would pay this for a car. And my thing is, like, could you imagine if a lot of Americans had, like, if you wanted Americans to have green energy vehicles, you know, this would be a cheap way. I would love if Tesla could do this. I mean, if we're going to go down this path, if we're going to do it, I would be perfectly fine with Tesla making a car that costs $10,000 to $15,000, but I'd like to see that product out there that has a high quality to it. Now, there might be one, and I just might be not knowing what that car is. What are the cheapest EV cars in the USA right now? Nissan Leaf, $29,000. Chevrolet Equinox, $36,000. Hyundai, $34,000. Fiat 500, $34,000. Tesla Model 3, $40,000. Volkswagen, $40,000. And you can go buy that other one for $10,000. Even with the 100% tariff, it's still cheaper than all of these. Even with the 100% tariff. Now, those are the fees for transporting them, all stuff that'll raise the price. I get it. But still, think about that. It is pretty wild. Now, what is the what's the range for the BYD Seagull? I want to know that. So 190 miles for the cheapest model. That's above the Nissan Leaf, which is the cheapest model up here. They have another one that goes to 252 miles. And that kind of matches up with some of these other ones over here, like the Hyundai Kona Electric, the Chevrolet Equinox, better than the Fiat 500, about the same as the Tesla, actually worse than Tesla, but close, and about the same as the Volkswagen ID4. So, and so 9,700 for the 190 mile version. Now, how much for the 250 mile? 12,000. You know, you're going to see Europe maybe making the same type of steps. But if you really want to have those, like people using EV cars, you got to make it affordable. And I think the only one that's really trying to do that right now, Nissan perhaps. I think Tesla's coming out. I think Tesla's in the process of it. But whatever one of these guys does it first, even if the car has to be made entirely in Mexico or something, you know, America would rather have that car than the $9,500 cheap Chinese vehicle. Right? And again, it's a proper made car. That's the one thing. Because it's Chinese, I think we have a perception of saying it's not good or it's poorly made. Look, apparently these ones are made well. We'd have to double check that. I like to have Marquis Brownie going over and stuff like that. But no, it is interesting just kind of see how all this stuff rolls. And hey, crypto, hey, sorry, there you go. You got that before I even knew it. Shaq will not be able to sit with us. Oh, geez, Shaq would smack his head. He'd be crunched up. Oh, Shaq would have to be crisscross applesauce in that. Okay. Never buy a car brand new. As soon as you drive out of the showroom, expect a 10 to 20% drop. Oh, yeah. I mean, heck, I don't even know if American car mechanics would know how to fix that. Those are a whole host of issues. But honestly, I think there's two main things that I think they're trying to work out from America's perspective. Number one is they're trying to protect American manufacturers. BMW, not BMW, that's not American. You know, Ford, Chrysler, Tesla, those types of companies, Chevrolet, whatever. On the second thing, I don't think our grid can handle that many new EV cars. You know, because I think our energy supply, our energy like grid is okay. It's fine. It's good. It's good. If we have a lot of people going out there and buying lots of new cars, that could be troublesome. Like, as long as that type of car, I think somebody alluded to it right here, Great Gatsby, that as long as the safety quality was okay, if I had kids in the United States, I'd buy each of my kids their own colored car of that. And I'd be like, go for it. They're cheap. I could buy it as their first starter car. Whenever they get a job and a real income, they can buy their own car. But as a first car, I ain't buying them no shit BMW. I didn't get nothing nice when I was growing up. And even that car, that'd be nicer than what I got when I first got my first car. My first car was like a 1980s like Chevrolet pickup. And it was rusted and shit. It was... I remember I didn't grow up real rich. But you know what? I had a vehicle. That's all I cared about. I was grateful for what I had. But that's the type of stuff right there. I would just buy those. You know, instead of maybe buying, one Nissan Leaf, because whenever I do have kids, I plan on having quite a bit, but I plan on having them out in Thailand or Panama, wherever I move to. I think I'm edging towards Panama, living there for a while, then moving over to Thailand, but I'm still on the fence of where I want to go. It really comes down to the visas and whatnot. 2 years in Panama, a few years in Thailand. Maybe after that, I'll move to Malaysia, kind of close by to Singapore because they're connected. Spend some time in Singapore. I'm still kind of all over the place, but I kind of want to spend a lot of my years in Asia to kind of chill out there. Southern Asia, I guess you would say. Then maybe I might vacation in Australia every now and again, as long as their creepy spiders and bugs don't get to me. Hey Jeff, this is a great motivation for me to lose weight and save money to get into a small electric car. Never buy a new car if you don't have the cash to buy it. There are tons of people that do not listen to that rule at all. But again, I'm not really a big person on buying new vehicles. You know, I have a 2012 Ford Fusion. I think it's fine, right? But how do I say? I've never bought myself a fancy car as much as like my God. You guys probably get the same message. Like you guys get a message from like your credit cards or your bank saying, "Hey, we pre-qualified you up to a card like $100,000, $150,000. Like, hey, we wanted to buy a car." I'm like, no, no. When my car breaks down, I will buy another one. Oh wow. I don't know. Since I'm moving, you know. But still, if I wasn't moving, I'd just buy another car, or maybe a used car. I'm not entirely sure. You know, like I could be like my grandparents. My grandparents have like a brand new Acura and 2 brand new Mercedes. They travel in style, but they're also retired and they have all the money together. They know what they want. They're at that stage of life. For me, if I really was gonna go for it, maybe I'd buy a new Mercedes. If I really wanted to, would I? Just no. But I mean, I have to admit they look lovely inside. I absolutely love driving inside of it. But you know, typically I just don't see the point. Plus, dog hair everywhere. Whoosh. The amount of detailing that I would have to pay to fix that car. Whoosh. You got your travels plan? Oh yeah, I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. It's just the planning part of it, making sure like I want to make sure my sister's situated, because again, if I move to Panama, I can stay there until my sister graduates college, and once I know her life is set up and she, you know, her money is situated, she's all grown up, so to speak, I can feel confident about going to Asia and staying out there for like a decade. And I would fly her out whenever she wanted to say hi and hang out and stuff like that. But you know, I do trading for a living. I can go and do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. My sister, she's probably going to go work for the government or go work for some big company. She has to take vacation days. So, you know, she can't just come visit me whenever, but whenever she can, I'll pay for the ticket and everything. Or like, you know, but that's one of the reasons for Panama. So whenever she has summer breaks and stuff and she's not doing internships and things of that nature, she can come visit me for a month in Panama, live up life for a little bit. You know, nice stuff like that. Should check out the stocks of those EV car batteries companies. I've checked them out before. I have a few in my account. I don't recall what they were. But also on top of that, U.S. mineral companies, what I've been looking at too. Their stocks have been okay. I would say not really where I want them to be. But maybe give it some more years. Maybe we'll be there. Again, I really want to see a very cheap EV that can be mass produced. The fact that the cheapest one is $30,000 really doesn't, it's not great. But again, that's good for American prices, I would say. It's not great if you like, you really want to have something like, wow, that is cheap. That is exactly what I want to have. That's the type of stuff I want to see in the American markets. We're so used to overpaying. We're so used to having like medium to high quality stuff that I think there should be a cheap option for people out there, because people should be able to manage their finances and be able to afford what they like, buy what they need without going into massive amounts of debt. You could see some middle income person having saved up $10,000 to buy a car in cash and just not having to finance and have to pay all that debt and just buying it and having it. I wish there was ways to do that with a lot of stuff, you know? Remember when you could buy houses for very, very cheap and things like that? You know? We're in the process of trying to have those mobile homes, and I'm hoping that will cause land to go up in value. That could be some really good news there as well. But you know, there's a whole bunch of things going on right now. My first cars were a 1977 Celica Saint and 1981 Toyota pickup SR5, 1985 Celica GT, and a 1986 Celica Super. Ooh, that sounds nice. Very called. Hey, Crypto AXR, I appreciate that a lot. And there we go. Bitcoin's breaking out right now. Look at that. All it took was a half an hour of EV talk. Well, there's the long. Regardless if you guys want to go long here or not, it's all up to you. It's a riskier trade for sure, but it's something you'd only be looking to hold for maybe a few hours until about 5 o'clock in the morning. I think we're probably gonna have a dip somewhere like whatever boom we have right now going into later on tonight. There'll probably be a little bit of a move down before CPI. Then once CPI happens, go shoot up or shoot down, one of the way. So let me see. 1 hour chart. Yeah, there's the breakout. Resistance levels are up here. we'll see how high we can go. I mean, it really does come to how high can we go here. I'm hoping the momentum will shift. On the 1 hour chart, momentum is shifting. 2 hour chart, we're still bearish, but we can shift. 4 hour chart, we're bearish, but we can easily shift back up here. So we're all good for an opportunity tomorrow. Right now, though, the daily, choppy, still bearish on the change of character here. So not really looking for a whole bunch, but weekly chart still bearish. So much more of a day trade here, plus CPI data. Why take that risk? Yeah, you could try to long Doge, but again, it's going to be it's going to be a smaller move. It's going to be a very, very small move that you're hoping for there, just because you're only going to be holding it for maybe a few hours, excuse me. Thoughts on GM and AMC? Do you think it was a one-day pump, or do you think it will squeeze to the moon? I don't think it'll go to the moon, but basically the way I've been describing it, the first day it happened yesterday, I was like, I would just buy and then just start scaling out whenever you feel like you've made enough money. So again, I would, like, if I bought yesterday, this is what I said earlier in the stream, I would already be scaling out of it today. I would already be scaling out a little bit today. If it pops up to tomorrow, even more tomorrow, I'd be scaling out. I think I said I'd be out the majority of it by Friday, and then I might leave a little bit more in there to see what happens over the weekend if we get lucky. There's not as much short interest this time as there was last time, so the hedge funds aren't covering their positions as much. And I believe this time we're seeing a shit ton more halts. Those halts have been extraordinarily bearish for the stocks. So I don't think it'll go to the moon. I think it'll have a really nice move, and it already has had a pretty nice move. We might have maybe 1 or 2 more days. I'm interested to see where that goes. Pre-market and post-market activity is crucial for what you do each day. At this point in time, you're probably less likely to buy into it if you missed out on it yesterday. You're probably like, small amounts of money today to kind of have some fun with it, because again, it's more of a gambling type of thing. If you're looking to just buy shares, I'd be buying them pre-market or post-market, and then maybe if you see a big dip in the morning, you might buy that dip, and then kind of wait to see what happens. But whatever money you toss in there, you're gonna have to be willing to just let it go down like 50 or 40%. If it does end up like really breaking down and the rally kind of ends shortly. Because today we had a lot of tweets coming out from Roaring Kitty. You might even see GameStop actually have a pretty good day tomorrow and the day after. He's kind of pumping it up just with his tweets and stuff like that. I think that'd be fine to hold, like I said before, but day trading or just kind of letting the YOLO ride. But when that YOLO hits a certain level, you just sell it off or scale out. It's not something I'm buying right now and holding for like a month. It's not like that. It's something where I'm looking to, if I'm buying it right now and it's not a day trade, I'm probably selling the majority of it by Friday, letting the rest ride and seeing where that goes. And then if I'm day trading, you're looking for small reversals on the 15 or 5 minute chart. Even the 5 minute chart's going to be crucial. Like if you go over here to AMC, okay, GameStop, to me GameStop. 5 minute chart. See, in the morning we had this big drop off here. Drop off. Came back up a little bit more, dropped off again towards the end of the day. Even had this little bit of a breakdown. It's going to be risky either way. Now, can I... There you go. There's the change of character on the 5 minute chart right up there. Change of character happened after the market. Change of character right here. Okay, change of character right there, but that was, it's kind of hard to do that. But again, pre-market. If you have the ability to buy in pre-market, go for it. I think Robinhood even gives that to people nowadays. Obviously not going to be buying right now. Wait for that 5 minutes to cook. You can do the 15 minute, but to me the 15 minute just isn't the same. Yeah, see, just not the same here for me. 5 minute chart, I'd be going off of that. Again, at this point, everything's gonna be bullish because of the abrupt move, like daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, stuff like that. All right, everything's gonna be bullish. Momentum is kind of working out okay. Momentum actually on the 1 hour chart's actually down a little bit off of, well, see there's halts in here, which kind of messes up data, but still, 5 minute chart, smart money concepts. I'd be playing with that and seeing where it goes. Buy here, stop loss there. Let's see where it goes. Again, you might be selling in the after hours market. Just understand that if you're doing a day trade. Over here, went green over here after hours. You can sell anywhere you want to over here. This one was fine. Stop loss right here. Came down. You might have moved that stop loss, whatever. But again, this one didn't really end up being a great trade. I guess technically it went up higher, but you know, depends again. When do you sell it? And over here again, the first day. It just happened recently, so. And let's go over here to that one. That one. There we go. No, not that one. Yeah, there we go. And is that it? Yeah, there's the breakout we were talking about. Smack dab into resistance. This Silica Super was not stock. It could corner like no other. Oh, geez. Some cars cannot corner to save their lives, and I've been in a couple of those cars. Got them all. Alt energy hopefully will rebound. Yeah, I mean, plug is a roller coaster. Yeah, that it is. That it is. Anyways, Gatsby, have a good night, my man. Morning. Good morning. Uranium companies? Not at this point. Like here. Here. There's only one, and it's not even a favorite, but I have some just for exposure. So if I go over here to performance, no, not performance, oh, there is charts. No. Basic. There we go. There's a few. Now, the CCJ, I don't like this one. Not because it's not a good company, because it's from Canada. I typically only mess with the USA type of stuff. Canada, again, I don't mess with it, but it's been going up a little bit. If you're going to choose between CCJ and DNN, CCJ is superior. EU right here, USA company, this is okay. I'm not in this one just because, again, it has a smaller price. I don't like these smaller price ones. The market cap is $810 million. Market cap is $1.83 billion. Market cap is $21 billion. I want to be a little bit higher than the market cap for all of those ones, to be honest. $692 million for LEU. Not something I like. Again, larger price, but again, the market cap is just too small for me. $4 billion for NXC. Next Gen Energy. This is in Canada again. It's not buying Canadian stuff. UEC. Same type of thing, smaller market cap, small price. I just don't like them. Same with a lot of stuff here. URG, I've owned this one in the past. I sold it. You know, this is more of a swing trade. You see that breakout right there? That's basically what I traded. It's okay, but again, it's not something I like to hold for a long period of time. UROI, $307 million market cap, $1 billion market cap. It was higher, but still very, very small. I think when most people get into stuff, it's usually the quadruple U. This is what I see most people trying to buy into these days. Again, I haven't really found anything I really enjoy. Maybe in the future that'll change. It's just whenever I go into their 10K reports, when I read kind of what's going on, it seems like there's a possibility for all of these to have really good moves. Really good moves. America doesn't seem like it's ready to take that next step into, you know, full-on nuclear power at this point in time. And because of that, I'm just like, you know, you're going to basically be holding this for a while to see a really good return. Again, not a terrible thing, but it's only going to be a small amount of your overall portfolio if you go in here. Even if I go back over here a little bit, let's get rid of that. Where is it? Compared to, like, you know, oil and gas drilling, some of these types of plays, and you go back up to market cap. The wrong one. P. There we go. You know, there's been volatility across a lot of energy. Chesapeake Energy. This one kind of goes in some crazy waves. I used to trade a lot more Back in 2021, not so much these days. But these larger market cap plays in oil are usually where I spend my time. You see a lot more moves to the upside. Again, I just told you a few days ago, I just sold the rest of my ConocoPhillips and it's still coming down. But yeah, I mean, if you were to choose them, you might even just go with the Canadian ones. It's not like they're terrible. I just have to stay in the American markets because I like the way they present their data more. It's just more streamlined for me. When it comes to like 10K reports, they have their version of 10K. Heck, would be it's a wild card tomorrow with CPI. I have no idea what's going to happen here. I guess it might be a little bit high, but we'd probably still be kind of choppy for the next few days afterwards until we have a larger move. Like Bitcoin could take a big move down tomorrow, but again, we're going to have to wait and see what that means for the rest of the market here. GE is working on alternative energy up big time. The 5 and 6 are awesome and great price point. Oh, there we go. I can't even pronounce that, but I see it, Crypto Ricky. You don't have access to after hours? I might say make an account with Webull or Robinhood. Those are very simple apps that can do a good job. If you want to get into those after hours trades, you might TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, E-Trade. Those are some options right there for if you want to have something more of a substantial trading software like this. But I know when it comes to TradingView, you guys can always go over here to trading panel and you can connect your Webull account, your Alpaca account, and TradeStation account if you want to go there. I think Webull is always fine when it comes to TradingView personally. It's the only one I've actually tested out before. It was fine. Nothing bad, and that could give you an opportunity to kind of go long, sell during after hours markets. The issue with Webull and TradingView, when you trade, you might have to pay for all the live data. For me, I would rather just pay for the data on Webull and trade off of that. People don't realize that a lot of the times you're not getting actual live data, which can be an issue for some people. Push down on the car and make it move, oh geez. Mike, you think it's a bad idea to remove items from CPI to make it look better in the short term? Oh yeah, I mean, sure it is. They did that a couple years ago, hoping it would help, and it did help. They took out a lot of the housing information that went into the CPI data. They took it out. They adjusted the weight. I should say that they adjusted the weight. It's how do I say? It had a good impact on the markets. It's just that after, hold on. When that happened, there you go. When that happened and inflation started to come down during that time, you started to see the government start to say things like inflation is on track now, things are good. The government came out and said things are good. And then you just saw a whole bunch of Americans say, well, no, fuck that. They're not good. Then things are not getting better. And we saw that, pretty abrupt because everybody was really, really mad. I think if you look at Joe Biden's polls right now, like Joe Biden economy poll. This is from the Financial Times. Please don't have a paywall. Please don't have a paywall. All right, so here's something. Disapproval of Biden's economic policies ticks up. % of respondents by survey month. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Biden is handling the economy? Disapprove 60% or 61%. Approve is 40%. So 40%, 58%. Right now, 58%. Have Biden's policies helped or hurt the economy? 49% say hurt. 28% say help. And you can see the divergence right now. Hurt's going up and helped is going down. So unfortunate, of course, for Biden, but again, when you do make policy changes, the economy does shift. Everything you do is important. It does have effects, yada, yada, yada. They can't, when they change stuff, there's some people notice it, but it's not really covered by the news, if that makes sense. They talk about it for maybe a week, and then afterwards, boom, nobody talks about it ever again because now it's the new normal. And, you know, like here. Let's see. Right. They are very transparent with everything they do. So if you ever want to see it, they show it. They cover it. I mean, they talk about it. It's just that the media, like after a while, they just don't talk about it. And because everybody wants to believe in the good news. Because if the news is saying everything is good, then everything is good. Until it isn't. Then they have to cover everything being bad. Remember, even the news was saying everything was transparent. All the guests on CNBT, not transparent, what's that term? Transitory. But you can see different changes they made. Changes to new vehicles methodology. Posted a little bit later or earlier. Anything else here? Earnings and CPI health insurance index. You know, some things are important, some things are not. Usually the big things are going to be energy and housing. Those two things are where you like, you look at that. Everything else, it's kind of like, you know, it's okay that they change stuff. It's just sometimes they do some big stuff and you're like, you look at it a little bit more. Right? But most of the time, again, it's just stuff where it's like not too important. You know, changes to used cars and truck methodology. With the release of the January 2024 data, the CPI program updated the mileage adjustment applied to each sample used vehicle in the used car and trucks index. Historically, a single stable mileage amount estimated was for a given make and model was applied to each sampled vehicle and remained unchanged throughout the year. The assigned mileage amount is now replaced with a monthly average mileage amount based on the age and sampled of a sampled used vehicle, and not the make and model. Each estimated price for a sampled used vehicle is adjusted for depreciation. Right? That seems okay. Month over month, monthly data instead of yearly data. That gives you better data. I'm okay with that type of stuff. And that's what you want to see them doing. Remember, not every bureaucracy is like gone into the politics of the world where they're trying to adjust the data to kind of make the politics better for a certain candidate, whether it be Trump, Biden, Obama. You see it every now and again, but again, it's those big things, and you notice it. But stuff like this, it's not too much. Maybe with healthcare, that could be something, but I doubt it here. Like, let me go over here to... see. Marketplace.org. There's tons of articles about this. I know I have no life. Trust me, I know at this point. That's why I got Loki to get me outside. Let's see. There you go. Another thing that changed between the December and January reports, the formula of the Bureau and Labor Statistics uses to calculate headline number. So, let's see. Market basket. Okay, this story is a whole nothing thing, but yeah, you get the point I'm trying to make. Most of the time, you're going to be fine. This is every now and again they do something big and drastic. And hey, Alberto, happy to see you, my man. A new cigar that I've tried. I wouldn't say it's new, but something I've been smoking more recently have been these Fuentes. I finally got my hands on a box of them. They are called AF Anejo's number 60s. So Fuente. So Anejo. Go over here to Half Wheel. Arturo Fuente and Anejo number 60. You can see that darkness right there. They're very, very good. MSRP $12. Well, that doesn't seem like the right price for these. When was this made? Oh, 13 years ago. Well, I'll say those prices are really cheap. I feel cheated if that was it. Here, Neptune cigar, maybe. Here we go. I basically got this box. A box of 25, $420 free shipping. You know, it's really good. You see the reviews so far are pretty good. It's hard to find them though. You know, maybe a if you can get your hands on it. I've been smoking My Father Opulencias. One of these bad boys. So My Father cigars, yes. A featuring element of the original My Father and Le Bijou. Le Bijou is a little bit more of a spicy cigar, so if you like spice, this is a good one. Utilizes an opulent Mexican rosado or oscuro wrapper encasing flavorful Nicaraguan filler. This premium has smooth and creamy taste and with a leather and cocoa nuances, whatever. Each sample that went across our offers burnt beautifully and smoothly down to the end, and I'll admit I hated to put this one down. Don't miss out. Secure yourself a few My Father Opulences today. A box of 20 of the Rothschild size will be $140. Not crazy expensive. I would say go with, maybe a Torpedo if you want to have a short smoke. Those are $228. Corona's a good size. Robusto, $196. I think the majority of you guys probably get Robustos. You get a pack of 5 of Robustos though for $50. So it's like, it's like a $10 cigar. Not that bad. Definitely get a nice savings when you buy 20 of them. Or a little bit of a savings, a little bit. Sometimes you can find them on sale though, a little bit more than this, which is gonna be nice. But typically you'd probably be going to Cigar page. One word of note, usually when I buy stuff from here or any humidor that I'm not familiar with, if you don't have a place you really know and trust, you're usually going to be keeping this in your humidor for a month before you smoke. If you smoke it right as you get it, it will probably not taste good. I've had this problem with many of My Fathers. They're not terrible cigars, but they usually are over humidified, where you want them to dry out considerably before you smoke them, which means maybe you just let it sit out, outside for like a full day, and then you smoke it. But that really depends on how wet it is. If you can't tell how wet it is, just leave it in the humidor for a month. Even 2 weeks will do the job. But go over here to here, samplers. They might even have a My Father cigar brand. Oh, I don't see My Fathers here. Ministry of Cigars. So they probably don't have samplers. Okay, well, let's just go. And then oh, where is it? It's all the way down. It was all the way down here. La Opulencia. Box of 20, $140. Stay away from the box press though. Wait, are these ones all box pressed? Why are they all box pressed? That doesn't look box. Maybe they just say it, but it's not. Okay, because this is not box pressed. Box press has that weird look to it. Toro. See, this one is $43 for 5. There you go. That's a deal right there. Something like that. It's kind of more of a full-bodied blend, but it's something that I'd recommend. La Opulencia. They're pretty good. They're not expensive, and that's why I like them a lot. You can smoke them and smoke them and smoke them, and they just have a really good flavor. They will buzz you up a little bit, though, so just get prepared for that. A really good lounge cigar. Freaking good? Yeah, there you go. Well, then maybe... Okay, let me go back to Cigar page very fast. Trying to think of another cigar. What's something that I haven't had in a minute, but I know I like? If you like the Olivia Black Swans or something, I would say are really good. I love these ones a lot. They're very, very cheap. 5-pack for 29 bucks. I like them. Let's see. Fuente Don Carlos's are very, very good. I enjoy these ones quite a bit. A 5-pack for $55 here. You're probably going to look for a Bellicoso. That's one of the things I like. A box $25, $287. Anything else? Carlos number 2. Oh, they're out of the Presidentes. Presidentes are a long, long ass cigar, but they look so cool when you smoke them. So they have a few of those if you like the Don Carlos types. After that, maybe even I like how there's so many brands, but there's only brands I like to try. Drew Estates can be pretty good. Let's see. Wait, wasn't I just looking at Fuente? And well, whatever those Fuente was, that keeps on. Oh, there it is. The Rosado Sungrounds are actually pretty good. I don't have these too often, but I like them a lot. Again, they're the cheaper side here, but they're very, very good. Those might be something ever getting with a box and kind of sharing them with friends. I like those ones. I would always start with a 5-pack though to see if you actually enjoy them. Hey Gus. Oh, Gus makes a point. I don't know this for a fact, but like I would trust Gus here because he probably does do the trading on the after hours. Pre and after market trading on both Webull and Robinhood are really difficult because the buy orders never fill quickly enough and the same for selling. So if a stock dumps after, you might not be able to sell. So you guys might be stuck in a position there if you guys do after hours for them. So I might go over to something of a TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, or Fidelity. Thoughts on Turbo? It's a high risk meme token. It's also kind of in the AI bunch because it was designed by AI. So I have a small position in it and I want to see it go higher, but I don't think it's worth more than a small position if you ask me. I'm hoping I can put a little bit of capital into it and it turns into a decent amount of money. And that's the way I view it right now. I'm not tossing in thousands into something that small of a market cap. Have I traded the La Flor Dominicana? Let me see. Yes, they're good. Good draw. I have one right here. I never smoked it. I never put it back in my humidor. And it's a little hard to be honest, but I could probably still smoke this. Yeah, it's still good in here. Actually, it's still nice and soft. Maybe I'll smoke this tomorrow. I'll smoke at the lounge. The foot is a little hard, not gonna lie. Foot is a little hard. I might have to toss this in the humidor and see what it, and maybe leave it in there for like a few weeks. I've smoked a few of them. This one is the Airbender. I've tried 2 of those and 2 of another one. Cigars International. Do they have it on there we go. Orly Ecuadorian Habana wrapper. Oh, maybe it's the oil that I like about it. Yeah, 5-pack for 35 bucks. This one is a don't know what size it is, but yeah, it's a tasty one. It's tasty, and the draw was just very good. Good luscious smoke here. But yeah, I have had a few of them. I do like them a lot. I don't remember the other one is, but I got them as a free gift when I bought some cigars from a friend, so I enjoyed them. I have never went out and bought them though. What's a safe amount to put on a Ledger hard wallet? Really, it's as much as you're comfortable with. You know, especially because it's not like you can put it into like cold storage, if you will. It can really be as much as you want to. I mean, I know people that have like millions of dollars on those suckers. Maybe not millions, but like a large amounts of money. It's really as much as you feel comfortable with. If you don't want to have everything in one wallet, you can definitely kind of diversify it. Typically, I think most people kind of set a max of anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 worth of capital on those suckers. But it really depends on what you're holding, because they can't hold every single token, but they can hold a decent amount, right? Decent amount. Okay. But okay, buddy, I'm going to end this stream right now. It's been freaking 3 hours stream here tonight, and I've been pretty happy with that one. So basically what's going on, you guys know that Bitcoin's still kind of slowly moving up. We just had a breakout. We'll see if we go higher. CPI data is going to lead to just a massive move tomorrow. We're really just hoping that the CPI data can really be good. That way we can actually go higher and higher and higher. Right now, you guys know that, you know, with PPI being higher, we're probably going to have a higher CPI data, but the magic number tomorrow is 3.4%. If we're above 3.4%, bad news. If we're below 3.4%, very good news. If we're at 3.4%, I really don't know how the market's going to react. I'm hoping that we might have a revision for last month, and that revision may be a little bit more lighter, just like the PPI data was lighter for last month, and that could help us out. So if you want to see the golden age here, lower CPI, lower revision for last month, that would shoot everything up in a heartbeat. Lower CPI with no revision, that would still be good. Higher CPI with a revision, that'd be okay. Kind of what we saw today, kind of a move down, but not terrible. And if we have a higher revision and a higher CPI, you know, the world's ending right here. So see you guys a little bit later. Hope you guys all have a good rest of your night. I'll be streaming a lot tomorrow here. Starting around noon, I believe. So noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be starting off at Power Hour, okay? So thanks for watching, everybody, and I enjoyed the 3-hour chat. Thanks.